Hey, it's Enrico Palazzo.
Utah, give me 2.
Palazzo.
Hello, everybody. Welcome in. It's Palazzo Podcast, 2 L's, 2 Z's.
Utah.
It is I, Michael Gobier, and Britton Allen. There will be a Mike Virginia in the mix here. I promise you. I assert the truth and nothing less. Nothing more? Well, I don't know. I can't guarantee that. But we're here on a Friday, fired up, talk fantasy baseball. It's a big week because it's going to be May. That's right, baby. We're here in that time of year. It's my favorite. It's actually, Britton, it's one of my personal favorites. We've been doing, every year it's May, and I do that stupid joke because I love it. And I do it every single season. So I'm glad to be here with you on the It's Gonna Be May edition of the 2025 fantasy baseball season.
May is a great month. I'm into May, but I prefer April because my birthday's in April. And if I make it to another April, that means I've made it another year. And that just makes me so happy.
Well, we would love that to happen. And it did. So, because you're here right now.
And you get opening day, you get the Masters, you get the NCAA basketball tournament. Look, May's good, but April, that's the month, baby. Yeah,
and then in your area, it starts to get a little too hot, too. May, it's getting hotter, it's getting sweatier, it's getting wetter.
Oh, yeah. I'm not a huge summer person. Me
neither. I love fall, man. Fall is my season.
I run hot. Look at my face. It's red all the time.
I can't blame more.
Which has nothing to do with the amount of red wine that I drink. Nothing at all.
Red wine.
I Googled it. I said, red wine doesn't turn my face red, right? and it said right, so therefore it's right. There you go.
Well, you know who came in hot right away before we even did this show, like an hour ago?
That it is, Edward.
Eddie, indeed. Eddie was, look at this. This was like an hour ago. Let's get ready to rumble an hour ago. Govier and VA. Why would you ask the two mics? What about Britton, by the way? Are you being biased here?
Hey, I think I'm like the heel of the group. Like you, the two mics are the trusted, esteemed fantasy analysts.
That's ridiculous.
And I'm the drunk southerner. Like
we're doing stereotypes.
Like Jack Nicholson and Easy Rider. Yeah. I'm just there for comic relief. Hey, but you know what? I know my place. I know my place.
You know what you're doing. Don't bullshit a bullshitter. I've been in this game a long time. Eddie says, Chandler Simpson, is he going to remain the starting center fielder in Tampa once the Rays are at full strength? And the reason he asked this is because he's in a bind. I got way too many stashes with Andrew Painter, Logan Henderson, Joe Boyle, Cade Horton, Luis
That's
Healy,
a lot of stashes.
Eflin, Grayson, you, Scherzer. Do you have a crystal ball? Of course we don't have a crystal ball. But what do you think? I mean, Chandler Simpson, I think he's going to be out of the mix here at some point. And I'm sticking to that opinion because that was my original opinion, Britton.
Yeah, Josh Lau's had a setback. Like, I don't think he's coming back anytime soon. So I'd honestly, out of all those guys, I'd hang on to Chandler Simpson. He's batting leadoff again tonight against the lefty. So
okay, well let's make this clear just for the record. The setback was not the oblique though, but it's back spasms for Josh Lowe, so it's a new thing, which I guess isn't great either.
Yeah, so Chandler Simpson's help you batting average, help you stolen bases. He's been up for like a week and a half, and he's stolen three bases. He's just going to get better.
Yep.
You know, so hang on to Chandler, dude. Chandler Bang, R.I.P. Matthew
Perry, the ketamine queen. Ketamine queen. Yeah.
That was sharing.
Hey, somebody got my UB40 reference when I started singing Red Red Wine. Thanks, Jordan. Good to have you here.
Oh, I love that song. UB40 is very underrated. It's polarizing.
Oh, it's very polarizing.
I've learned to love it, much like James Taylor. I've seen fire and I've seen rain. Yep. Okay, as I get older, I'm like, okay, I get it.
Yeah, I get it too. I mean, look, I don't do guilty pleasures, man. I like what I like. I always liked what I like, and I don't care what anybody else think. That was kind of my thing. Anyways, I uploaded this finally.
Guess what? It's gonna be May.
Effort right there. It is May.
Justin Timberlake from West Tennessee.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that. He's Tennessean?
He grew up right outside of Memphis.
You know, I noticed there was a huge. This is totally random. I was thinking about you earlier because I was watching a John Oliver video, and there was a huge Bitcoin conference in Nashville last year, apparently.
Yeah, Trump came to it. Yeah,
That's right.
It was a big deal. It was right downtown. Yeah,
huge. The place was sold out, and people were going apeshit about Bitcoin and crypto. So I didn't know Nashville was such a hotbed for crypto world. Now I know that. So.
It seems to be a hotbed for lots of things lately.
It's one of the trendiest cities. You know that. You live in the area.
Yeah, downtown is where my office is. And it's kind of like smack dab downtown. It's like literally catty corner to the Ryman Auditorium. Like from my window.
Oh, what's the Ryman Auditorium?
I would say it's famous, but obviously, I guess if you haven't heard of it, maybe it's not famous.
I don't know everything.
Yeah, it's like like country music.
I've heard of the Bluebird Cafe.
Yeah, exactly. It's like that. It's like.
Oh, okay. See, okay, I got it. I watched the show Nashville for like one season.
Did you really? I didn't see it.
I really did. I actually did. It was because it had I was a huge Friday Night Lights fan. What's her face? The woman from Friday Night Lights who played the mom, and she was on that show.
Connie Britton.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
she spells her name the right way too. I love it.
Britton, 2 T's.
Utah.
There you go.
Give me 2.
Tim's here. Whoops, I hit the wrong button there. And he's saying that El Mago is back, baby. And that's just
I saw his home run, his grand slam the other day. It was hilarious. Are you into it?
Come on.
What are you talking about, man? He's the Tigers are the first team to win 20 games, and he's a big reason.
Go Tigers.
He's not a big reason. Okay, slow down a little bit
reason.
here. Yeah, okay. You got me. You totally got me on that one. Look, El Mago, Javi Baez is a very, you talk about polarizing topics. UB40, forget it. Javi Baez in Detroit is a massively polarizing figure. But if he's going to contribute,
he's only 32.
I believe that because he's
not that old.
He's just been sitting here. He's not dead. He's not an old man. He's just been sitting on this roster for the last few seasons, kind of like when Miguel Cabrera was at the end of his career here. Him and the combination of what Javi Baez became were really depressing because they weren't who they were anymore at all, and we were just kind of stuck. And once Miguel retired, this team kind of took off a bit. Sorry, it's true. It's nothing against him. People get old. It happens. And then Javi was just kind of sitting here, and we were hoping he wouldn't be a malcontent or a negative in the clubhouse. And it didn't seem to affect him last year because they made that run. And now maybe he caught on. Maybe he's turned a corner mentally. He's like, you know what? There's something here, and I'm feeling good. And maybe he's feeling good for the first time in a few years.
Well, resurgence. He's got a little juice. He's got a little pep in his step. You know, he's reinvigorated.
He does.
Yeah, this is a playoff team, so I'm sure he's let's go. He seems like a nice guy. Like, I mean, he's not like Rendon, like just a total.
Oh no.
Right.
No one's like him. That's a special category for Anthony Rendon himself. Eddie wants to know, is Grosse Pointe Blank a nice area, Govier? Well, first off, it's just called Grosse Pointe. The movie is.
That's the movie. Yeah.
Yeah. Great movie.
I know that movie. Yeah. But for a long time, I had a huge crush on, I can't remember the actress's name, but she was in that and Good Will Hunting.
Minnie Driver.
That's it.
Mm-hmm. Look, we're helping each other out. You remember things, I remember things. Together, we are an unstoppable wasteland of pop culture information.
Right. I don't even know why we have a fantasy baseball show.
Yeah.
Do we don't talk about fantasy baseball anyway. This is false advertising.
It is false advertising in a certain respect. But in that movie, his character's name, John Cusack's character's name, Martin Blank. So it's kind of like a play on words. Grosse Pointe is the town. By the way, unfortunately,
that's clever writing right there.
But
Hollywood.
Okay, all jokes aside though, but we both agree Grosse Pointe Blank is a sweet film. I love that movie. It's a great movie. If you never saw it, check it out. Dan Aykroyd is so good in that movie. One of his best roles, arguably. And the negative part I have to mention, because
he was in Ghostbusters.
Yeah, but I think he's so good in that movie. It's one of my favorite Dan Aykroyd roles, without a doubt. He's such a psychotic hitman. Blues Brothers.
Elwood.
I think Blues Brothers overrated.
You got my cheese boy.
Yeah, I think Blues Brothers overrated, and maybe it's not fair because John Belushi died, and we've seen like this kind of. They've tried to like keep it going with John Goodman, and I know Belushi's brother, so maybe it's not fair to the legacy. Maybe I'm being a little unfair.
It's a great movie. John Landis directed it. He also directed Animal House and Thriller, the Michael Jackson video.
He did. And did he do Beverly Hills Cop as well?
I don't think so.
Okay, I got that wrong. Anywho, we're just randomly saying things on the show, but the one thing I want to mention is Grosse Pointe it's got a bad image for kind of being like a racist place too, some discrimination. It's on the border of Detroit, and I'm not proud of that part of it. So Grosse Pointe, you have to point out the good with the bad. You know who you are over there. But forget all that, because it is a luxury place. That's why the legacy. Look who it is, the one and only, the man, the myth, the legend. Yay! What's up, buddy?
How we doing, boys?
You're back.
How are you guys?
We're great. We're just waiting for your arrival. We're so excited to have you.
Hey, I'm happy to be back, man. It is.
Hey, tell us a fun story about your trip. Like anything.
Yeah.
Did you drive a golf cart into the what do you call them? The water traps or whatever? Did y'all get nuts? You know?
No, we're past that stage. Thankfully, we're all married, have kids, things like that. But
boring.
I thought that would make it worse. It's
I
like
know,
girls,
right?
it'd be like Girls Gone Wild on spring break.
No way. So for Christmas, my wife got me a golf bag that has my name at the bottom of it, and all my buddies round one were like, "Dude, you got to be like Tiger Woods if you're gonna have your name on your bag, dude. Like, you can't do this. You know what I mean? Like, this is not cool." I was like, "It's from my wife, guys. Give me a break." I played the best round of my life the very first day. I mean, I was like Bryson DeChambeau. So I mean, it was nuts. So I ended up winning.
That?
Damn!
Who's that dude?
Is that drink? That really syrupy drink?
Oh wow!
That's when I hear Shambo. I'm like,
he's a heavy hitter. He can hit the ball a long way. I do know that. I know you're talking about Britton. Yeah, Shambo. That stuff's good. I used to drink that. That was delicious.
It's like cough syrup, man. Hey, look,
it is.
You know, if you got to do what you got to do. I hear that, but if you don't, I don't know that you're reaching for the Shambo liquor. You know, like that's like last of the list. Like you're like, oh, you like everything's gone. It's 4 a.m. You're like, oh my god, it's Shambo.
Oh
time.
yeah.
All right, whatever.
No, but it was a good trip. You know, it was in Rehoboth, but we stayed in Dewey Beach. So I don't know if you guys ever been there in Delaware, but
I heard of it. Never got to see it though.
He did that decibel system in libraries. It's awesome.
Yes, that's where it originated.
We went to this place called Starboard. Had a couple grapefruit crushes. So tied a couple on, which was fun. So at the end of the day, it was a good trip. Always a good group of guys. Don't always get to see them a whole lot anymore. So it's good to do this annual trip every year where it's just the boys and go and hit the links and have a good time. So
you're locked in. You're back. All right.
Are you prepared to be put back into the fray, Mike V? Are you ready to be thrown into the Thunderdome? Not Mad Max's best film, but you know, Tina Turner in it. Where they put two men go in, one man comes out. Okay, not exactly like that, but we could play the feud.
Yeah, we definitely could. Are we going to do that? Why don't we do get the opening shit out of the way, and then we're going to do that. Sound good?
Whatever you want.
All right, cool. Everybody here in the live chat is fired up to see you, Mike, as I pointed out some of the commentary already. EA says, Mike, I'm going to be in Bethany next weekend for a wedding. We'll be at Starboard for sure. I don't even know what that means.
Good place. It's like a bar restaurant. It's awesome.
Oh, okay, great. Paige Bukers is a beast for Dallas. I don't even know what that means either. So, welcome to the show, though, Uncle Ted. And Eddie says, okay, we got that one. Frank, LOL. So you guys are laughing at each other in the chat. Make sure you guys subscribe, like the video. Follow Mike on Twitter at _MikeVA. He does his notes all the week, too. We got that as well. I'm sure, Mike, you've been still grinding on that, right?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Doing some Q&As as well. So thank you guys for engaging with me. I know some of these guys in here engage with me on a daily basis. Love it. It's a good tight group of folks here with Palazzo. I know we talk about it all the time here, but you know, I think one of the best thing about this show is the community. As kumbaya as that sounds, it is nice. So to be able to engage with everybody on here on a consistent basis. Appreciate you guys being here. I'm good and happy to be back.
Oh, yeah.
That's easy for you to say, Mike V, because that one commenter said that I need to speak 80% less and you need to speak more. So you're sitting up high in your ivory tower of star fandom and stuff.
No.
Well, meanwhile, I'm down here in the muck, dodging trolls and everything else.
I forgot about that, Britton. That's why I'm laughing so hard. That was so good. That was so good.
Hey, look, he had some good points.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, you want to get into that stuff? Let's get into the business time portion of the show here. And this Mike's notes, make sure you check them out. Mike VA notes hashtag, right? Mike VA notes.
That's right.
There you go. Follow those on Twitter, please. We got a new Discord channel. That's Yukon Cornelius, a.k.a. Britton Allen. So jump in. He was posting the artwork. Mike, you missed some great artwork. I don't know if you caught up on the artwork from his daughter last week. It's beautiful alligator.
I did see that. Kudos.
Yeah.
Kudos. I did see
Blue
that.
elephant.
And while you were away, that channel now is kicking butt. And last I checked, Britton, you were, Super Mario's in the... Wow, look at you. You're all over the map in your channel. I love the participation, Britton. Well done.
Hey, I've made a commitment. You started the channel, so I said I'm going to commit to this, and I post stuff every day, like it or not.
I love it.
So hey, look. Oh, not you. I don't mean you, Mike Goby. I mean,
right.
To the 3 people that actually might look at it.
The editorial we, yes, right.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. I post all kinds
I love
of
it.
stuff.
Discord's free. Description has the link. Every video we ever do in here, it's got the description with the link to the Discord and the Patreon. I'm telling you, this thing is intensive. I'm doing my Sunday night transaction guide. I'm giving you all the leagues I'm in. And I'm giving you the ads and the drops, my starting roster for the coming week, who's on the bench too, my ILs, everything. So if you want to do head-to-head cats, I play that. I play Roto. I play points. So I got a potpourri of different leagues, Dynasty, 2 to 3 keepers, redraft. I think this guide is very valuable. It takes a ton of time. Britton, we talked about grinding on Sunday last week. I think I seriously had to spend 10 hours just looking at baseball stuff, organizing all this information. It takes a lot of time to get all this shit done, but I think it's a really useful guide if you'd like to have a comprehensive kind of point of reference for fantasy baseball rosters and who you add and who I add, and just make your own choices from that.
Yeah, we're very transparent. Michael Govier, on our Fab show, I don't know if you caught it, Mike V, but on the Fab show, I actually went to my page with the my NFBC page with all my bids on there. I mean, I had 13 claims going in my TGFBI thing, and I actually got most of the players that I wanted.
Shelby Miller, you look like a genius right now.
Well, Will Vest, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I like sharing all that stuff, so hopefully people got something out of it.
Did you watch the show, Mike? Did you watch the show?
I did watch a little bit. I saw Britton's artwork. I saw the Billy Madison quote. I wanted to play the Blue Duck. I saw that part. Which
that's a shout out to Frank. Frank's got his own button since he's been gone.
Actually, I stole this shirt from Frank.
I saw that. Yes, love that so much. And Frank, thanks for being here, man.
That movie
There he
is so
is.
classic. Yeah.
So good.
Oh my! It never gets old to me. I don't know why. I'm an immature doofus, and that's who I'm always going to be, and I'm fine with that. I'll lock myself in. Frank, are we still looking at preseason projections, or after a month, are we looking at a player who's off to good starts, i.e., Kyle Stowers over Taylor Ward, 12-team roto keeper? So really, it's a question about projections, Mike. And are we throwing those out the window once a guy like Kyle Stowers, who wasn't projected to do what he's already done, is doing it?
Yeah, I mean, this is a good question, and I get this probably a lot. I mean, I know we're a little over the first month into the season, and a lot of guys are getting impatient. Fantasy baseball players are getting impatient.
Yeah, it's going to be May, Mike. Did you hear?
It's going to be May. God, I love that button so much. And the infographic of Justin Timberlake's ramen noodle head right above you. So,
Yeah, look at me and Justin. Hey, buddy.
but Frank, to answer your question, I don't mind making a swap for this, Kyle Stowers for Taylor Ward. I mean, I do prefer Taylor Ward rest of season, but Kyle Stowers is off to a good start. For some of your guys that you drafted that maybe aren't doing so hot right now, this is the point of this show. It's going to be May once the calendar turns over, right? Some of these guys who are slow starters to start to turn it around. So, I don't mind the move Stowers for Ward, but at the same time, too, I would still err on the side of being patient with a lot of the guys that you drafted, feel confident in the guys that you drafted, and let's give it a solid month and a half, maybe even 2 months for some of these guys before we start making any decisions. So,
anything to add to that, Britton?
No, that's well said. I concur 100%. We talk about it. It's so boring. Like Taylor Ward, you just got to stick with him. And at the end of the year, his numbers are going to be within 5% of his projections, up or down, but whatever, depending on, barring injury, of course. But that's how baseball works. It's always been this way, and nothing's going to change. But shout out to Kyle Stowers, batting second. In his last 12 games, he's hit 385, 4 home runs, 2 stolen bases. Batting second for the Marlins. He's got every opportunity in the world. Tonight they're facing Gunnar, Hoglund.
Yeah,
go Hogs. Hey, I know y'all aren't SEC fans, but are you aware that the University of Arkansas, that their mascot is the Razorback?
Razorback,
hog?
yeah.
Woo
Hey,
pig
dude,
suey,
pig
man.
suey, pig suey.
Woo
Yeah, we
pig
know.
suey,
We
yeah.
like college football. Hell yeah.
Yeah, but y'all. I mean, Govia, you're Central, but
I'm Big
Mike
Ten,
B is
man,
an
yes.
East Coaster. All right, he might as
he
well
is.
live in England for all I know. I don't know. All I know is I'm not paying my tax on tea anymore. I don't care. For all you lords and ladies over there in England, okay?
Taxation without representation.
Right, I
That's
make
right.
the tea, I make the money. No, I'm kidding.
That's
Anyway. But
All right,
anyway, so the Hogs, the fans of the University of Arkansas do a hog call. Are you familiar with the?
I've heard about
it's
this. I've
called
never
pig
seen it.
suey. Yeah,
That's right.
I don't know if you
Are you
ever
ever eaten
heard.
out of a hog trough? Have you eaten out of a hog trough ever?
I peed in one several times. Once it was at Wrigley Field. That's a funny story, but I'll save that for another day.
I pissed in those troughs. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
but
I saw Pearl Jam there.
It wasn't that long ago either. I mean, it was only like 20 years ago. But that was back when you could smoke cigarettes and pee in the trough and go sit in your seat.
You poor
The
bastard.
Wrigley
man.
Field, man, dude, it's Chicago.
I would kill to see that, by the way. You with a cigarette hanging out of your mouth, peeing, shirt off.
Wasn't that long ago, Mike V. I mean, we're talking 2002.
Anybody's been to first pitch knows that. If you guys want to really kick it with Britton, get the true Britton Allen experience, come to first pitch and meet that man at the hotel bar. Okay?
Yeah,
Locking
check
that
your
in.
soul at the door because you're not going to need it.
You guys can piss with Britain in a hog trough. So I mean, that's what's better than that.
That's the
What
least
else?
of your worries if you're hanging out with Brett in Arizona.
And wrapping up the business time, here is the latest overall standings in the Palazzo Podcast Invitational. Andrew Poplin back in first place, still controlling the board. Russell Withers, the
Hey, way to
official
go, Russ.
Palazzo Podcast. Yeah, Russ is fourth, the official podcast gift maker, Russell Withers. Otherwise, a lot of names I don't know. So it's great to have.
Marty Party
Oh.
number 13.
Hey, look at Marty.
Oh,
Party.
Marty. Yeah, Marty. Okay. Yep. I see Mike Gavin, who's a Discord regular in our show, at 17th. Yeah, so I'm nowhere to be found. I assume I'm there we go. Yep, 49th. Okay, great. Wonderful. Moving on. There
Hey,
it is. I never
49th
win
isn't
this
that
thing.
bad. Hey, turn that back. I know I'm not.
Turn it-
I'm not doing well, and everyone should shame me if you can put
Let's
it
see.
back.
Britton Allen, you're doing
I
better
had
than I
Josh
am.
Chisholm in that league, and he just got.
You're actually
put on
5
me.
spots ahead of me overall, Britton. So congratulations. And then Mike, do you know how you're doing, Mike?
I have no clue. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I haven't looked at any of my NFBC stuff in a while. I did look
Mike
at
is
my.
68th.
Okay, I'm not too far off you guys. That's not bad.
Yeah,
You
only
need to
20
move
spots.
down one spot just on general principle.
Hey! Anyways, okay, there it is. That's a business time. Check that out. Check everything out. Patreon's $3. Discord's free. Mike's notes. Britton's here for the jokes and the laughter, but he does know his fantasy baseball and his SEC football. So if you have any other SEC football questions, Uncle Ted says, somebody plays in the SEC versus Arkansas, and the SEC is the second best league in America in college baseball, I guess he's saying. Is that what he said?
Well, I know the University of Tennessee won the NCAA national championship last year, and then
That
it
was cool.
And then it was LSU featuring Paul Skeens and Dylan Cruz the year before that. So I don't know. I'm not a historian or anything, but that's
You
seems
are.
like a track record.
You're unofficial historian. How about you be the official Palazzo podcast historian, actually? That sounds great to me. All right, so we've been screwing around. More stuff to come here in the live chat Palazzo podcast. 2 L's Tuesdays.
Utah.
Great to have all three of us back
Give me
together,
2. united
on the Friday show, having a ball. Mike Virginia, Britton Allen, Michael Govier. Let's get into leading off and talk about some baseball. Let's get in depth. All right, then we get you the catch of the day, of course.
Our first catch of the day.
Not so solid majority. Anthony, hey, who's going to win the Kentucky Derby? Who gives a shit? It's about the party. It's not about the actual race. Don't you know that by now? I know Britton knows that.
Hey, when I lived in Memphis, across the river in West Memphis, Arkansas, they allowed offshore betting on horse races. So we would go over there, bet on the Kentucky Derby, and I won one year on War Emblem. Do y'all remember War Emblem?
I remember the name.
7
Did you get
to
shot?
1. Yeah, I bet $10. I won $70. I thought I was the richest man. Well, hey, look, in West Memphis, $70 goes a long way. You know what I'm saying?
I bet it does. Shout out to
I
West Memphis,
the
too, by the way.
West Memphis, Arkansas.
How often do we shout out West Memphis on this show? There you go. Okay, so, Mike, we're here in our leading off first catch of the day. Go ahead. Hit me, Mike.
Well, we talked about it a little bit in a teaser of the show. And for those of you guys who are living under a rock, Bubba Chandler has been lights out in AAA. And a lot of people are awaiting his arrival. So I don't imagine that's going to be too far off now here that we see him come up to the majors. And he should already be stashed. But if he's not, I would strongly consider adding him, even if you don't have an NA spot. I would strongly consider adding him. He's been that good. He's not Paul Skeens. I know that's a lazy comp because he plays for the Pirates. But at the same time, too, high strikeout capability here. The Pirates called up Paul Skeens right around the same time frame last year, so I imagine he'll be up as well. So I think Bubba is a must add. He's arguably been the best pitcher in AAA this year. So high strikeout capabilities, not going to get you a whole lot of wins, but if you play in a quality start league, I think you'll get some of those. Pirates are not a very good baseball team, but like I said, high strikeout potential, great kite caper 9. I think that this is a guy that needs to be owned universally.
Gotcha. I don't have any Bubba Chandler anywhere. Haven't stashed him anywhere yet. I might miss out big time on this. Eddie's saying trade for Bubba. Britton, he wants you to trade for Bubba. Will you do that?
Yeah, absolutely. Bubba Chandler for the Pittsburgh Pirates is intriguing because, he was a quarterback. He was recruited by Ohio State, like all these big time schools, ended up switching to baseball. And I was listening to our friends at In This League, and Chris Welsh, the Welsh is a prospect person. And he said on their podcast that he doesn't think Bubba Chandler is going to make another start in the minor leagues. He said his next start in 5 or 6 days is going to be in the major leagues. So that's a guy that not all he does, but one of his major things is prospects. So yeah, if I looked at Bubba Chandler, like he's picked up and stashed in like 95% of leagues, even like 12-team leagues. But if for some reason he's not, go pick him up because he does have this is like a comp, but like a Paul Skeens type impact. He can. Yeah. We know how that works.
It's not
Paul
ridiculous.
Skeens just got beat by Colin Ray. Shout out, Colin Ray. You know who you are.
Your boy. There it is. Woo!
Great job.
But I'm kidding, of course. Yeah, but no, Bubba Chandler's got the stuff. He's got the pedigree. So yeah, if he's available, pick him up immediately.
This show's for everybody, right, Mike? We try to make this show for everyone,
100%.
not just for the hardcore NFBC diehards. Fuck all that. I play NFBC. We love it. I love it, but it's not.
My 10-team ESPN leagues are my favorite. I love it. It's
See?
the Wild
Exactly.
West, baby.
So when B. Henny jumps in the chat and says, "What does K9 mean?" We're not going to shame you. We're not going to be like, "Well, you don't know that, dude." We welcome that question. So thank you for asking it. See, Britton doesn't even know what it means. It's a mystery to most of us.
K9 means when you get pulled over and you have drugs on you and you're riding dirty, and then you're in trouble when they call it K9.
Riding dirty, yeah. And Eddie answered it for us. Strikeouts per 9 innings. That's what all it means. So how many strikeouts do you average per 9 innings pitched? That's all. Just like an earned run average is earned runs per 9, right? You could call earned run average earned runs per 9, right?
I got pulled over once. They didn't need to call the K9. Everybody knew what was going on. You know what I'm saying?
It's a Britton car. Hey, it ain't no party like a Britton Allen party because a Britton Allen party don't stop. Okay. Anyways, Mike, move us forward, please.
Another guy I really wanted to quickly talk about, and it's in my little white bubble down here, is Jordan Lawlar of the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Oh, you're buying in? You're in?
100%, dude. I've been a Jordan Lawlar fan for a really long time.
Wait a minute, though. You were on that Twitter thread where I was like, where does he play?
Yeah,
Couple
Kettle
weeks ago,
Marte.
remember?
Kettle Marte is back today. Like he's starting leadoff for the Arizona Diamondbacks like today.
And I made this argument. So in my hang on, and Ben's saying here, there is somewhere to play. It's very easy. I'm going to lay it out for you guys. And I don't know why this is not being talked about enough. Like,
Here we go. Here we go. Lay it.
Hear me out.
Preach, brother.
You take Eugenio Suarez, you put him at DH. You take Josh Naylor, you put him at first base. Then you stick Jordan Lawlar at third base. You have Geraldo Perdomo at short, Ketel Marte at second, and then the outfield will consist of Corbin Carroll in right, Corbin Carroll in center, Pavin Smith in left or right, whichever one, and Lourdes Gurriel in the other. Bingo, done. It's that simple. Who loses playing time? You know what I mean? Alec Thomas, get those guys out of there. The bat
Alec
of
Thomas
Jordan
is an
Lawlar.
elite defender, though. That's why they keep him in.
Jordan Lawlar is, and Ben saying that Smith can't do the outfield. Well, he's played there before. And again, you can swap out, take Pavin Smith and take him out and put him in for Alec Thomas if you want. I don't care who you play him out there. They're not as good as Jordan Lawlar. So there is a spot for him to play. And I'm predicting that Monday will be the call-up day for Jordan Lawlar, the homestand. There's no reason for them to leave him in AAA. He's lighting it up. He's a 5x5 stud. And the Arizona Diamondbacks need him in their lineup because they keep falling out of contention there in the West. So I don't think it is what I said is far-fetched. I think it makes complete sense. And then you can swap these guys out because the best thing about Jordan Lawlar too is that he's been playing all over the infield. He's played second, he's played short, he's played third base. So, and if I'm not mistaken, somebody in the chat correct me, I think he's playing some outfield as well. So there's going to be an opportunity for him to come up. I think it's going to be the homestand starting on Monday. Beat the rush, add him now.
Okay. Hey, I'm rooting for you, Mike. I believe in you. I want everything you want to happen. So if you call this on Monday, he gets the call. But if it happens on Tuesday, you get 0 credit, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
Fair? Yeah. Okay, good. Just want to make sure we're on the record on that. Ben says, after injury, Smith is not physically an outfielder anymore. Also, Lawlar has roughly a 100 WRC plus. Now, he's hitting 381, right, at AAA, which is a free-for-all PCL paradise of hitting, which you always got to, those you don't know, hitting the Pacific Coast League and AAA and the minors, you got to reduce some of those numbers by 20%. They just get too inflated because the parks are a free-for-all generally. But the Lawlar's had a pedigree, so he's a guy that we've all been waiting on. It's not like he's, oh, dude, Jordan Lawlar's come out of nowhere. It's not like that at all.
Well, I'm glad he's on a hot streak, but in 2023 and 2024, combined home runs in the minors, 7. 2 years, 7 home runs. Whatever.
Yeah.
Great job.
But here's the thing with Lawlar too, like in live chatters, back me up on this. Are we really blocking their top prospect with Alec Thomas, Pavin Smith, and Tawa?
They've been doing it for years. I mean, they keep putting those guys out there, man. So I don't know.
That's my argument.
They bet Tim Tawa leadoff the other day. Like, he's got power. He had 30 home runs.
When Ketel Marte went on the IL, Britton, that show, we were talking about, I'm like, Lawlar's not getting called up. Everyone's like, dude, this is it. Lawlar's coming now. Marte just got hurt. No, it didn't happen. Tim Tawa got called up. So the Arizona will disappoint you time and time again. And I would love for the fun fest to ensue. But I don't know. This is a team that wants to win the World Series right now. And if they don't think Lawlar could be a key part of that now, maybe he comes up a little bit later in the season too. I don't think that's out of the question right now. Not to rain on your parade, Mikey.
Monday, calling it now. Lock it in.
Can't wait.
He's got nothing left to prove in AAA. There's just no reason to leave him down there when he can help the team now. And they need his
fair. Okay, I'm down with that.
Yeah.
I would like to take a quick moment to piss on the Miami Marlins. I don't know what they're doing. I don't understand what their issue is. Play Dane Myers. This guy can hit, okay? Put him in the outfield and let him play center field. My guy, Peter Pratt, who is a Marlins aficionado. He's a British man as well, so he's very classy. You could expect him to never get as ridiculous as I would on a show like this. He's classy and reserved, but he's a great dude. Peter Pratt knows the Marlins, and he says, yeah, put Mr. Myers in center. Get Jesus Sanchez out of center field. That is not working out defensively at all. He can hit, but he's not a defender. Myers can do both. This is a guy who could hit for average, get on base. He hit a grand slam the other day against the Dodgers. And when he gets a chance to play, he's been hitting, but they've been sitting him and then playing him. And then I've been adding him and then stuck with him when he doesn't play. And then I drop him and then he goes and plays again. It's baffling to me. This is not just some deep play. Dane Myers has a future here this season. If they can give him run, everyday run, this is a guy that you'll add arguably even in 12 teamers. Okay. Thank you.
The Marlins, like you mentioned with the Diamondbacks, right? Like this is what Miami does. Right. I don't know. And again, I think they have some talent on that team, a sneaky good talent. I don't know if they're going to be competing this year, obviously, but they have some talent on that team with Stowers.
Mike gets uncomfortable talking Marlins because of what happened.
Yeah.
He doesn't even want to talk Marlins because of the trade.
Yeah, I hate it. But at the same time too, they have some talent in the starting pitching. Alcantara hasn't been that great this year. Max Meyer.
Oh my, it's been terrible.
Yeah, Max Meyer has been good.
Killing me. Sandy he's been killing me, man. That's a sad story right now.
I won't mention the name, but a guy's name that rhymes with Shmurry Shmishmez is going to be coming back here soon. So a fan favorite.
Britain's favorite.
Yeah,
that's right.
He just on a
Yuri Perez.
Yeah. There it is.
That's
He's picking
right.
it up.
He made it through 1.1 inning the other day without any setbacks. He's right on the road to recovery. Yeah.
Great job.
He'll be here any day.
Wow, dude.
He will, and he's gonna be amazing. His K9 will be through the roof.
You're gonna have a lot of canines on there.
Yeah, hell yeah, he is. Anyways, okay, so I'm done with the Dane Myers thing. Also, the Arizona closer situation now. Justin Martinez. This is part of like the bye. I guess we could just fire that up real quick because I wanted to allude to some of the scenarios that are brewing in Arizona with Justin Martinez hitting the IL. And he's already been on the IL once this year, so it's not the first time it's happened. So, yes, it's going to be May, and this is a very in-sync heavy.
It's gonna be May.
Outstanding presentation on my part. And then not only was it just that, there's the bye. So people who are taking off, we're losing right now. And Justin Martinez is not what we do here. I know, Britton, you were already saying Shelby Miller last Sunday. You were like, let's do it. Let's party. So I assume that's where you are in this situation.
Yeah, I got Shelby Miller in a couple leagues when Justin Martinez had shoulder fatigue or arm fatigue. I was like, this isn't a problem, or this is a problem. And then he was playing the Mets, and it was 4-1. They brought him in, and he looked terrible. So literally the next day he went on the IL. And then the next day Ginkel came in the 8th and skated through barely. But then they brought in Shelby Miller, and he crushed it. He nailed it down, 3 up, 3 down, no issues. So Shelby Miller, I would bet all the tea in China, Mike V, with all the lords and ladies over there in England.
China.
In China.
China.
China. So Shelby Miller, I think, is going to get, 10 plus saves while Justin Martinez is on the IL for at least a month or probably longer, but we'll see.
I agree with that, and I thought that was a great call for you, Britton. Went back when we were dealing with the quote-unquote arm fatigue there for Justin Martinez. It's worth noting, and for those of you guys who are following along, that Ginkel had just come back from IL earlier this week. He did face the heart of the order with 1, 2, 3, I believe.
Leverage.
Yeah, high leverage, and then Miller got the 9th. So here's what I think was going to happen with Arizona. I do think Miller will get the bulk of the work there, but I do think this is going to be a bullpen by committee. I think you're going to see a combination of Ginkel. I think you're going to see Miller, and I also going to think you're going to see Ryan Thompson.
Ryan Johnson.
Well.
Oh, Thompson? Sorry. Is it Johnson or Thompson? I got it wrong. Sorry.
Yeah, Thompson, the side armor. So who came in, and I know that Miller had already pitched that game as well, but did come in and get the 9th after Justin Martinez was pulled. So I think you're going to see a combination of all three of these guys. I do like Miller to get the bulk of the work, though. He's been unreal this year so far. So I think he has the most talent of those three, but I do think that Lovola will mix and match and give a lot of these guys some run here. So can we go with this? Yeah. Einhorn.
Einhorn and Ginkle.
Ginkle is Einhorn. Einhorn is Ginkle.
Love it.
Well, my Ginkle.
Yeah. But
Yeah, I think didn't last year Mr. Thompson was the closer for a minute, wasn't he?
he was. Yeah, he was.
I don't know. I watched the game, and I saw all four of them. I saw Ginkle, Shelby Miller, Justin Martinez, and Thompson. And Shelby Miller was far and away the best. Ginkle
Absolutely.
barely survived both his outings. Martinez is hurt. That's clear, obviously.
Yeah, well,
And-
let's
and
ask real
Thompson
quickly.
was
Are you bailing on
okay.
Martinez? Is that over for you? Would you bail on Martinez now? Redraft.
A closer that's just got put on the IL with an arm injury. Yeah, you know, I mean, there's no reason to hang on to him. And if you're in a 10 or 12 team league, yeah, cut him. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, if you're in a keeper league, don't cut him. But because they just signed him, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah,
it wouldn't surprise anybody if he had some, you know, and then they're like, oh, his elbow, and then they're doing Tommy John. I mean, you know, he did just sign that big contract. That's why they kept him out there longer than they should, I think.
Fair.
And the other thing with it is, I haven't seen the results that came back from the imaging because I think Lovola said that they were sending him for imaging, if I'm not mistaken. But
So right now it's just inflammation, as far as we know, I believe.
yeah, so it's fatigue, right? So like they're going to shut him down for a little bit, and which is what they should have done prior to his outing the other day. But if you have the IL space, I don't mind hanging on to him because I do think when he comes back, Britt might be onto something here too. This is going to be a messy situation even when he does come back, right? Because they're not going to say, "Hey, your arm's good. Okay, now go back out there and throw 100 miles an hour every save op." So I don't think he'll get as many opportunities to just so they preserve him. And if you guys remember too, I'm sure you guys all know, you guys play fantasy baseball. The Arizona Diamondbacks bullpen situation is bad, right? AJ Puck's down. They just lost Justin Martinez. They're going to want to get these guys back and keep them healthy. So I think Martinez, when he does come back, is going to be one of those guys that's going to be continuing to split work with Ginkle, Martinez, Thompson, and just keep these guys fresh.
Yeah.
Yep, good point.
Business says Casas just carted off the field. Britton, a shocker. Casas?
Britton loves Casas, man. I thought he has him in all of his leagues, I thought.
Zing. Very funny. Speaking
I
of
wish
guys,
I don't wish anybody injury. I hope he's okay.
no, of course not. There, look, see, Britton, you're not a heel. That's class. That's first class right there, buddy. Good job.
I didn't mean it, but
Star Platinum, our man. What's up, Star? Ashcraft will be the closer in Cincy when Pagan starts giving up those dongs come summertime in the Queen City, Britain. That's right. Whee!
that's right.
I don't hate this call either.
Alan
Really.
It makes all the sense of the world to me, Mike. I could see this narrative playing out ever so clearly. But the one I can't see, I'm going to bust Uncle Ted here. He's saying Erceg's on fire. It don't mean shit. Estevez has 9 saves already. He is locked in still. I played this game to start the year, and I lost. And I've changed. I'm like, it's Estevez. It is not an Erceg, barring injury. That's the only way Erceg's going to be a closer here. Only way.
Yeah, I agree with that take too. I was high on Estevez coming into the season as well. As a reason why they signed him. We had this conversation prior to the season.
You guys were right about that. You were right.
Yeah.
I thought Erceg would still be a guy, and I was wrong.
Yeah, they gave him closer money. So I mean, and it's not to say that just because we paid you that money, you have to close. That's something that, you know, we can talk on another time. But he's, you know, Ted's saying here that he's always got low back issues and he's always hurt. At the end of the day, like they love him there. Like you said, he's already got 9 saves. Erceg is fine too. This is not a shit on Erceg type thing. This is also just
no.
He's a fireballer. He's an 8th. I think they prefer him in that spot too. So, but I think this is Estevez's job for quite some time. I think he's got a pretty long leash with that as well.
Yeah, I said I don't give a shit. I say that a lot, so you got to be more specific than that. By the way, here we go, Britton. I mean, you talk about a guy you have on a lot of rosters, and we have him on a few, and it's sad, but
I hear they got some tasty burgers.
Got to pour one out for Jake Berger, who the Rangers traded for, and loved me some Jake Berger. He got demoted because he's having a terrible start to the season. He's kind of like Eugenio Suarez, except Eugenio is having a good start and he's not. But but they couldn't send down Jock Peterson because Jock doesn't have any options and Berger does. So they sent Jake Berger down, kind of give everybody a wake up call, I guess. So I think Jake Berger will be down for a couple weeks, maybe a month. He'll come back up and hopefully have a resurgence. But yeah, I mean, Jake Berger and Tyler Soderstrom were my two first corner, third picks in lots of drafts. So I had to do a lot of on Friday earlier today. I had to do a lot of. I was like, John Birdie in for Jake Berger.
Oh, your boy.
A lot
Mr.
of John
Birdie
for Jake Berger today, boys. And Eric Wagaman. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have many shares of Jake Berger. I have him in a dynasty league, and I cut ties just because I'm deep at the corner spots, and I need the roster spot because I have a lot of guys on the IL. But this is the thing; he's kind of like the fall guy, right? Which kind of sucks for Texas.
Yeah.
Texas in general has sucked. Like their offense has not been good. At least it hasn't been the Texas that we're used to seeing in that lineup. Semion's been bad. Adolis Garcia has been meh. Jock Peterson hasn't been good. Jake Berger hasn't been good. I mean, the whole team's just not hitting. So, to Britton's point, I think it's a wake up call for a lot of these guys being like, "Hey, we got to pull our heads out of our rear ends." So, he'll be back, but it's going to be interesting to see. He might be this year's not Kerry Carpenter, Spencer Torkelson. So, we're just has kind of a lost season.
It'll be much shorter than that. It's going to be minimal. He'll be right back. I was shocked when I saw this on my phone and a quick notification. I was really shocked. I couldn't believe that they would actually demote them. Now, what Britton told me about the option, that makes sense because sometimes it is an options game in the end. But I was still surprised. The guy has 3 home runs. It's not like he hasn't hit a single one. I know it's not a lot yet, but to dump him after 1 month when we all know baseball is a long-ass season, I was still very surprised. So I'm not sweating it. I think it's a great time to buy Josh Berger, Jake Berger.
That's a total message situation. I guarantee you, Boshi, the manager had nothing to do with that. That was the front office saying, "We're tired of this. We're sending a message to all you players, contracts, whoever, whatever you are, that we're doing this. It's so y'all get it together." So they sent down Berger, who was a clubhouse favorite.
Yeah,
he's a good guy.
Yeah, like you said, they traded for him.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, exactly.
Bonkers.
It's not like getting rid of a clubhouse cancer or anything like that. So, but one door open, one door closes. The door that opens is for Blaine Krim.
Oh God, Blaine Krim.
I guarantee you, nobody in that clubhouse does either. But
you ever heard a lamer name, Blaine Krim?
His name is Blaine. Shout out, Pretty in Pink.
Hey, I'm Blaine Krim. Hello, I'm here to play baseball.
Well, you know that the Krim is Trent Krim from Ted Lasso.
Yeah. Whoa. The original, hang on.
Krim.
The original Krim, if you're from Detroit, is Mort Krim, legendary news anchor, which Anchorman was based off of the life of Mort Krim, a WDIV Channel 4, the rival of this right here, was the rival of my grandfather's Channel 7. Mort Krim was at Channel 4. It was Bill Bonds and Mort Krim, and those were the glory days. And that's what Anchorman is based on. I'm not shitting you. That's a true. That's supposedly what Will Ferrell said. So,
hey, real quick, shout out to Not So Silent Majority. Thank you for the tip, my friend.
Hey, thank you.
You guys have a great freaking show. Best mix of real baseball knowledge and humor. Should have 100,000 subs. Thanks, guys.
We should have 100,000 subs.
100%. Not So Silent Majority.
We shouldn't.
Yes, we should. We're awesome.
Shouldn't.
We are awesome. Nobody does a show like we do. You know how much.
Thank you for the compliment. That's awesome. But as I recall, I mean, we're making dicks and donut jokes like half the time. I don't think I'm not.
Well, then, for everybody.
You're not watching YouTube then, because some of the millions of subs on certain channels, it's way worse than that. So, but. If we had 100,000 subs, it would just be a tribute to baseball and that fantasy baseballers can do it. That's all I really care about. I don't care if we're good or not. I just want to show people that, yes, fantasy baseball can thrive. I believe. That's cool. By the way, Mike, while you were gone, I updated our banner below because YouTube takes 30%. So if you guys want to bypass, we love the tips. We love the donations, not bitching. But if you want to give us all the money, You can use these PayPals, and I set up a PayPal, Cash App, Venmos, whatever. It's all on the banner. Check it out if you want to do it. It's just, it's amazing, even for a tiny show like us, they take 30%. It's like, YouTube, you're loaded. Why? Come on. Good God. 30% of every donation.
That's crazy.
Rich get richer. We got to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back after this one from, how about Taco Bell today? Taco Bell? Yeah, Taco Bell.
It now appears that Shaq is suffering from a neck injury.
Of course we're concerned. That's one valuable neck.
Shaq is suffering from taco neck syndrome, TNS. It's caused by his craving for delicious Taco Bell tacos. And he's getting worse with every neck-bending bite.
There's nothing funny about TNS.
It's not natural.
It's a conspiracy, man.
Get some more of those tacos.
I barely remember that one, but that apparently did happen. I've eaten a lot of Taco Bell, and I can attest, taco neck is a real thing.
Hey, has Shaquille O'Neal endorsed every single product available in the United States?
Let's go with the list, Britton. We got the general insurance. He's got his own chicken joint now, too.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, like, he's doing Icy Hot commercials and then
Icy Hot.
Papa John commercials. And I'm like, you've been retired for 20 years. I mean, my kids don't know who Shaquille O'Neal is, and they're 12 years old, you know? I don't know.
Yeah. Real quickly, other people that are Ryan Feltner's on the IL, Walker Buehler's on the IL, Austin Hayes hit the IL, Tyler Fitzgerald hit the IL. So we got people that are sad now. Any of those strike any of you that you care at all or whatever?
No, but hey, real quick, Kettle Marte is back. That has to be mentioned. He's a big part of the Arizona Diamondbacks offense.
Oh, I was just going to do that. Yeah.
Tyler
I was going to do return
Stevenson
to
is
the Mack.
back playing today. Tyler Stevenson for the Reds.
And Connor Wong.
And Chase Meadroth, our favorite player.
Yes.
If some of the Chicago White Sox, and if somebody brings me that Luis Robert Jr. noise out.
Uh-oh. We're hitting all the favorites today, aren't we? Return to the Mack. We can't play the song, but I guess I could play this video, so here we go.
Utah, give me 2.
Here's Johnny.
Where were you?
Nowhere.
Shut up. Where were you?
Guess who's back? 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 Guess who's back?
I've been waiting for you.
But I always thought that I'd see you again.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
Oh, God. I hate that.
I'll be back.
Yeah, there you go. Hell yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah, so we got people on the mend, people called up. You mentioned earlier the show, Gunnar Hoglund, his debut tonight in Miami. So I like that matchup. And if we see something good out of Gunnar Hoglund, who was pitching pretty well at AAA, then I think Gunnar Hoglund's a guy we should all be looking to add for sure. And he might surprise. He was a first-round pick once upon a time. Blue Jay originally, I think, off the top of my head. Ended up in Oakland, unless I'm mixing it up with another Gunnar. But, yeah. Good times. Welcome back. Welcome to the show, Gunnar Hoglund.
Yeah, good times.
Yeah, two innings pitched, 2 Ks, 2 hits, but no earned runs.
Nice. All
No
right,
walks.
we're off and running.
No walk.
Woo!
Love that.
Yay! Round of applause. I needed that.
Real quick, I wanted to give a shout out quick to Eddie. Appreciate the $5 again, my friend. He also wanted to tip us. Second, Anthony's Notion. So many other podcasts don't even come close to the Palazzo podcast. YouTube, bunches. Yeah, 100%.
They're gonna turn us off because you just read that. Yeah, right. YouTube's gonna be pissed.
They're watching us. Careful, Eddie. Appreciate the love, guys. Thank you very much for tipping.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Who else is back, Mike?
Well, I will say that it's not necessarily a return, but some guys I wanted to talk about from an injury standpoint. We already talked about Ketel Marte, and I saw a question in the chat, which is why I wanted to bring this up, because somebody asked me about Jordan Westburg and also Grayson Rodriguez. In the chat here, Grayson Rodriguez hopes to throw later this month, but Mike Elias did say that is going to be some time before he's back. So If you guys recall, Britton and I talked about Grayson Rodriguez prior to the show. We had recommended him as a cut. We talked about him on Sunday's show. It's because he's dealing with a lot of different injuries here with lat, and shoulder, and elbow, and it just looks like a lost season for Grayson. So, Jordan Westburg should be back sometime within the next couple of weeks. I think they're going to play careful with him. He was playing hurt. They mentioned it up during the telecast as well. Jim Palmer had actually mentioned it that he was probably playing hurt. So,
sexiest man alive, Jim Palmer.
Yeah, right. But I think it's one of those things too, where and actually, I'm interested to hear your all's thoughts. Jordan Westburg has not been off to a good start. He was a very popular sleeper for a lot of people to start the season. What are we doing with Jordan Westburg here, Britton? Are you staying patient, keeping him on your IL, hoping that he turns it around?
Keeping him on the IL. He's too talented, and I'm all for cutting loose. But I think Jordan Westburg is special. So I'm hanging on to Jordan Westburg for the Baltimore Orioles and just seeing how his recovery plays out. I'd give it, you don't have to make a snap decision like today. Give it a week and see where we're at, because Jordan Westburg is a big part of that offense. And when he gets healthy, he's right back in the middle of it. So I'm hanging on. What do you think, Javier?
Well, I'm not as young as some people on the live chat may think I am. Yes, I know Jim Palmer is a sexy man, but you can't drop Jordan Westburg. I don't give a shit. You just got to hold and you got to wait it out. I'm lucky that I wanted to get more of him, but I didn't end up getting as much as I wanted, so I lucked out. There's a game called fantasy baseball, and part of it is luck. Sorry, but it's true. So sometimes you need the breaks of the game, and if you have Westburg right now, that's a break that's not going your way. And if you're an Orioles fan, it seems like the breaks just aren't going your way, period, okay? Yeah. Sorry, Mike, but it's not like you're not aware of that.
It's going to be May, buddy. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's what it is.
So,
oh yeah, it is going to be May.
May's a new month, and we did finish out April strong. Took 2 of 3 for the Yankees, so I was happy about that.
I'm impressing Not So Silent Majority with my Jim Palmer knowledge. Thank you so much, Silent. Appreciate that. Oh, by the way, I'm glad Uncle Ted's bringing this up because I wanted to shit on him. Nick Kurtz, no home runs yet. 8 games, 0 home runs, hitting 8th in the lineup. That is not a guy you want to spend $714 of your $1,000 fab budget on, okay? Thank you. Now back to our regularly scheduled show.
He does also have, and this was a couple days ago, a 40% K rate. So I know it's only been a handful of games, but that's also not good either. We talk about this on the show all the time, and Jordan Lawlar, Bubba Chandler, somebody we talked about earlier on as well. And a common theme, if you are new to the show, we talk about it all the time. These are lottery tickets, right? You and Augustine Ramirez, another guy.
Yeah.
Too, right?
Now we're talking.
Zach Veen. We've already seen some of these prospects get call up. One of them is going to hit. You just got to keep placing your bets, right, Britton? Like
Augustine Ramirez. Augustine Ramirez hits. He's going to hit. He's
Augustine
staying.
Ramirez hits. He's batting 3rd today for the Marlins. Love him. Mike V is 100% correct. Chandler, Simpson for every Zach Veen and Nick Kurtz and Kyron Paris. Remember that guy?
Yep.
Now he's only playing like 60% of the time, and he was the huge thing.
He was.
For a while. So it's just the key is steady as she goes, and so keep buying those tickets, those lucky sevens. You scratch them off at the bus stop, and you're like, oh, here we go.
One of them is going to hit. So
somebody wins those. Somebody
exactly.
It might as well be
they
you.
They do. They absolutely do. Oh, Jordan, one of my favorite. This is from The Big Lebowski. Sometimes you eat the bear, and sometimes the bear eats you. That's right, Jordan. I'm locking that in. That's the game. That's the game. Anywho, Augustine Ramirez, quick lesson here, by the way. I only got him in one NFBC league where we have $1,000 budgets. Huge Sunday night fab bid last Sunday. Our fab show hopefully helped you with some of that. You got your bids. I didn't get Augustine in my main event, but the week before that, I got Edgar Cuero for $42. And Connor Wong came back today. I also have him on that roster. So now looking back, even though I love Augustine Ramirez, not every team or situation is worth spending so much money. And I still contend that maybe by end of season, Augustine Ramirez as a catcher versus Edgar Cuero, who's the Chicago White Sox rookie catcher, hitting 4th in their lineup as well, maybe there won't be such a big difference. And maybe I saved $450 and I lucked out. Sometimes it's these decisions that you make that you think you want to make that you don't end up making. Again,
luck has a lot to do with it. luck has a lot to do with it. I lost bids on Easton Lucas. Y'all remember him for a hot minute?
Yes.
He had two great starts, and I thought
he was the stud. Yeah, he was. Everybody's trying to add him after that start. Yep.
Yeah. Thank goodness I lost that bid because that guy tanked. Like literally tanked your ERA.
He got lit up for like 8 earned runs that next start. I remember that.
It was just luck that I didn't up. I didn't up the bid. I lost like by $5 or whatever it was.
In fairness to Uncle Ted, Kurtz is hitting 286. So there you go.
He does have an RBI single tonight as well, but they're not paying him to hit RBI singles. They're putting him to put the ball in the cheap seats. So
okay, fair. Yeah. Who else do you want to mention, Mike?
No, that's really what I wanted to talk about today were the two main things. Obviously, with the prospects, obviously, is that you got to keep placing your bets. And at some point, one of these will hit. But number two, we touched on it earlier with some of these struggling guys because a lot of people are getting impatient with some of you guys you drafted in the top 100. I'm still staying patient with a lot of these guys. So, and as should you. I made the mistake, guys, last year, and something that I got asked about a lot with Vinny Pasquantino last year. I ended up making a mistake and dropping him because I was just so fed up. And then he went on to have a pretty decent season. So, that's the whole point of this show. It's just going to be May, right? When the months turn over and the months start getting warmer out, especially in the northern states, these guys will start to pitch well. This is the other thing as well. It's not fantasy football, and I can't stress that enough. You're not going to have a Jamar Chase go for 102 TDs in baseball. That doesn't work that way. Baseball's a tough game. You fail 7 out of 10 times, you're in the Hall of Fame. So, and realistically, we would love for all of our guys to have 12 strikeouts every game and go 5 for 5 with 10 RBIs. That's just not the reality of the situation. You're going to have good weeks, bad days, great months, and everything in between it. So that's the beauty of fantasy baseball. But I think that's where a lot of people make the mistake and lose their leagues is because they get too impatient too quick.
Well said. Beautiful.
Mike V is the poetry.
Hey,
it's like I have to put in my contact list. Is that Billy Shakespeare over there? What's going on here?
I was like, wow, this is a Sunday sermon. Sunday sermon for sure.
Actually, I stole this shirt from Frank.
Yeah, Frank won Augustine for $384. Thanks to our show, I believe, the Sunday Fab Show, which will be live on the air Sunday, 1 o'clock Eastern, exclusively on YouTube. Should have bought a few shirts instead. Yeah, well, no, I mean, I'm not. Don't get me wrong. I love Augustine, so I got him in my OC for $251. So I spent in certain leagues. In other leagues, it wasn't worth it. It's a game of give and take, and you just never know for sure, like they said. So I also just want to mention real quick. Zach Eflin is starting rehab, so he'll be back soon. Matt Vierling finally starting his rehab. Thank you, with the Toledo Mud Hens, AAA. So that's good news. Hopefully we'll see Vierling in 2 weeks or less. And then a guy named Slade Ciccone. Cleveland's pitching staff has been a real bummer. Our guy. It's all three of our guys. Gavin Williams. All three of us like Gavin Williams on the show.
Oh, yeah.
And that's been disappointing, to say the least. So I'm not saying Gavin Williams is going away, but there are an opportunity for someone to come in and take a spot in the Cleveland rotation. And I like Slade Ciccone, who Cleveland traded for in the offseason from Arizona. He's rehabbing from an oblique issue. It's not an arm issue. So I still think Slade Ciccone has a role to play in Cleveland this season as a legitimate starting pitcher. And I want to get down the record now as his rehab gears up.
There you go. Lock it in, buddy.
Anybody else, Britton, who's on the mend or coming back, you want to mention, or did you already cover it?
Wait, we already covered it. Y'all did a great job. Does anyone have any interest in playing the feud, or do y'all?
I was just gonna say, I am ready to play the feud right now. Let's do it. Let's play the Family Feud. Boo, 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 boo. I play the theme song, but they'll kick us off of YouTube, which sucks because that's part of the fun. But all right, whatever.
Family Feud are one of my all-time favorite shows, and I'm not just saying that because we're about to play it. Price is Right is number one. Bob Barker, you're a pimp. R.I.P. Bob Barker. But Family Feud is number 2. So, which I like to do, I'm going to be doing the questions and the moderating, and obviously it'll be Mike V versus Mike Govier. Battle of the Mikes. Midwest versus East Coast England.
East Coast England.
Are y'all ready? Would y'all like y'all pick? I've got 3 categories. So would y'all like to do pitcher categories or a hitter categories first? Mike V, since you're back, you pick hitter or pitcher.
I'll go hitter.
Let's do hitter. Top 6 players are on the board. Top 6. Mike V, You get to go first.
Okay.
So obviously you can pass or you can go, but the category is who are the top 6 players with the most stolen bases? Top 6 stolen bases leaders for the year in our Lord 2025. All you have to do is do one. But if you do one, you got to keep going, or you can pass. Mike V, what do you want to do?
I'm going to play here, and I'm going to the first one on the board here for me, Xavier Edwards.
That is incorrect.
Oh man!
And I'm not going to do that. There we go. Shout out Doug Dennis.
I hate being put on the spot.
Oh, Doug Dennis, yeah.
Hey, look, that's a good guess.
Yeah.
But you know
Good
how it
guess.
is. All right, so Mike V, you have an X. So now it goes to Mike Govier.
Okay.
Mike Govier, name a player that has the most stolen bases, top 6 in major leagues.
Great job.
Well, it's got to be at least Ellie's got to be on the list, right? Ellie De La Cruz.
Ellie is number 1 with 13 stolen bases. Ellie De La Cruz. So you can keep going or you can pass. You've named one. There are 5 on the board.
I'm going to keep going. I don't know, Mike. Did you see in the chat here? Somebody wrote a name.
You're not allowed to. If
I
you
didn't mean to. I saw it earlier. I'm not going to use it. I won't use it. I won't use it. But it was an obvious one. But he stole it. Someone stole it in the chat.
If you can't use it.
All right. How about
I have one.
What about
It's folks. This is a lot harder than it seems to be. Like
what about this one?
Yeah.
It does seem hard. How about Jake Myers? Is he in the top 6?
No. Sorry, that is incorrect.
Hit the X button.
Oh crap! Okay.
This is just like when we were back in Arizona for the 5 minutes I was sober. Okay. Anyway, so Mike, Virginia, your turn. Ellie De La Cruz was 13 is number 1. There are 5 left.
I'm going to go O'Neal Cruz.
That is correct. With 12 stolen bases, O'Neal Cruz is tied for second. So good job. All right, Mike V, you've got 1 X, but you've got 4 players left on the board. So who's your next player? 4 players, stolen bases. Ellie De La Cruz and O'Neal Cruz have already been taken.
All right. I'm going to go Victor Scott.
That is correct. With 10 stolen bases, he's number 6 on our board. So number 1 is Ellie De La Cruz. Tied for second is O'Neal Cruz. Victor Scott is 6. So we've got number 2, 4, and 5.
I'm going to, since Star Platinum put this one in the chat, I'm eliminating an answer then. Sorry, you're the host.
Okay, what is it?
He put Luis Robert.
Yes. No worries, Star Platinum. Hey, it's all good. But we'll go ahead and just because there's so much at stake.
So much.
This means everything.
But these are very competitive people.
Very.
We are.
And
we're all
cheaters.
playing fantasy baseball.
So
and
it's
we're
up to me
scumbags
to
of the
try to
highest
keep
order.
it fair. Right. All right.
I'm going to go.
So Ellie De La Cruz, Luis Robert Jr. both have 13. O'Neal Cruz has 12. Victor Scott has 10. So there are 2 left.
Can I go again?
Number 5, Mike V.
Pete Crow Armstrong.
That is correct.
Wow.
Number 4 with 12 stolen bases. Good job. 1 left, Mike V. 1 left.
Can I do it?
5th in the league. Do not look at your phone. Stop. Look at eye contact. Address the pitcher, Mike V. Address the pitcher.
I'll pass to Govier if he has one.
You can't pass.
I can't.
You got to get it
only
wrong.
pass if you get it wrong now.
Okay, got it. I will go with. Oh, this is tough. It's got to be somebody like in the East, in the NL East or the AL East. I'm gonna go Bo Bichette.
No, sir. I think he has like 2 or something.
Yeah.
That was a total joke. Yeah.
Right. So
okay.
That's okay. Gotcha. All right, Mike V, you have 2 X's. Govier, you can steal the win here if you know which player is 5th on the list for most stolen basers. We did top 6. Ellie De La Cruz, Luis Robert Jr., O'Neill Cruz, Pete Crow Armstrong, and Victor Scott. One player left.
Is it Randy Rosarina?
That is incorrect. I'm sorry, Michael W. It is back to you, Mike Virginia.
Oh, God. Let's see.
Cruz. Both Cruzes have been taken. Robert's been taken. Pete Crow has been taken. Victor Scott's been taken. Man, I never would have gotten Victor Scott. Never in a million years, but you did. Yeah. Congrats.
The only reason I know that is because I have him in a couple of leagues.
But there is a player who actually has one more stolen base than Victor Scott.
Is he like well known? Like, is he rosterable in fantasy?
Very well known.
Okay.
And he also, this is a game, right? So he plays in the AL East.
See, I was right. It was in one of the East, AL East, and
right.
AL East.
With all the other traders from England. That's where he plays over there.
Yeah. I'm thinking of Boston.
Canterbury, I believe, is where those people come from. Or Newcastle.
Yeah.
Dover. No, I don't know. Anyway.
Give me Francisco Lindor.
Incorrect. I'm sorry. That's 3 X's. Michael Govier, you automatically win according to our rules. Would you like to go ahead and give a guess anyway?
I was going to say Rafaela.
Jaron Duran of the Boston Red Sox.
Your boy, Mike. Your boy.
I can't believe I didn't get that. I didn't think that he was stealing a whole lot of bases so far this year.
I didn't think he's done anything this year other than the
getting fights with
Red Sox, television series, whatever. Anyway, Michael Govier, you won. Do y'all want to keep going? Y'all want to wrap it up? Totally up to you.
Let's do another one. That's fun. You did the work, my friend. Come on.
All right, this one will be pitching. Top 5 in saves. Who are the 5 closers with the most saves? Michael Govier, you go first since Mike V went first last time.
Okay, well, there's no doubt that Andres Munoz is right up there.
That's correct. That's number 2 with 11 saves, the second most saves. Munoz from Seattle is having a great year, and for some reason, Seattle's on a resurgence. They're literally like
again.
They're like 18-12. Who would have thunk that? But whatever. All right, so 4 players left. You've got Munoz with 11.
It's got to be Josh Hader.
It is not. I'm sorry.
What?
He just missed the top 5, but he did miss it. So that goes to you, Michael Virginia.
Damn.
I'm going
top
to go
5 saves. Munoz is off the board.
I'm going to go Carlos Estevez.
That is correct. With 9 saves, Carlos Estevez with the Kansas City Royals has 9 saves. FYI, Josh Hader has 8 right below Carlos Estevez. So, Mike V, you got it right, so you have to keep going. Sorry, okay. Forgot the rules there.
What a bummer.
Yeah, what a bummer indeed. I'm going to go with.
It's hard when you're put on the spot like this.
No, I'm going to go Masyn Miller.
That is correct with 10 saves. Masyn Miller comes at number 4 with 10 saves. He's been awesome this year. The Athletics are in the hunt. They're beating the Miami Marlins currently, looking good, and it's going to get hot in Sacramento.
Winning record,
it's just going to get getting better and better. Anyway, so Masyn Miller has 10. There are 2 left. Give me 2. Give me 2, Michael.
Give me 2.
Utah, give me 2.
I'm going to go with Emilio Pagan's got to be in there.
Incorrect. I'm sorry. He does not. You have an X. Govier, it's back to you. You also have an X, but you also have the chance to win if you can name 2 of the top 5 closers. Number 1 is still on the board.
Really?
Number 1 for saves for this year is still on the board.
Wow. Okay.
You're not allowed to look over there, Michael Govier.
I'm not. I'm looking at a book.
Stop
I literally see a book.
boobs.
This book is called Daring Greatly by Brene
business.
Brown. That's literally what I'm seeing. I'll show you. See? Look, there it is. Yeah, you guys know. I don't know this one. There you go. Okay, so you've got.
All right, so top 5 in saves.
I want to say Dodgers, like maybe. I want to say maybe. I'm not sure I'm going to go there. I'm going to say Robert Suarez.
That is correct. He's number 1.
Damn it.
with 12
I
saves.
knew that too.
Yes. Woohoo! I was so down on him this year too, but he's still doing it.
Same, dude.
So there's one left?
One left, number 3, with 10 saves. This closer has 10 saves.
Eye contact, man. Eye contact.
Robert Suarez, number 1. Munoz, number 2. Number 4 is Mason Miller. Number 5, Carlos Estevez. Who is number 3?
Well, we definitely know it's not Devin Williams, obviously. So it must be. It's definitely not a Tigers closer.
5 saves.
I'm gonna. Oh wait. Is it? I think he might be down the AL West. I'm gonna go with. Is it actually Luke Jackson?
That is a great guess. That is incorrect. I am sorry, Michael Govier. It goes back to you, Mike V. You can win this round.
Damn.
I'm gonna
Name a top 5 closer.
I'm gonna go with Aroldis Chapman.
That is incorrect. That is your.
But I had it, man. I was so
That is your
confident.
second strike. Mike Govier, win or go home. If you get the answer correct, you win. If you don't, that's your third strike, and Mike V wins by default. All right, Michael Govier, keep your eyes locked at me. I'm not just a piece of meat. I have feelings and thoughts.
Well, you look red like a piece of meat.
I look red like a piece of meat because I eat red meat and I drink red wine.
Hey, so do I. I love that shit. How about we go? I went Luke Jackson. I'm going to stay in the AL West. I don't think this is right, but I'm going to go with it. What about Kenley Jansen?
That is incorrect. That is a great guess.
I didn't think it was right.
Mike V, you want to try for it? You've already won the round, but you want to try anyway? You got another guess?
I'm going to ask you since we did the hint on the batters, and since I've already won, just help me out here. Is it in the NL West? Because that's who I'm going with.
No.
All right. I'll be fair.
Maybe it is. It's Kyle Finnegan.
I know who it.
Oh, got it. Okay,
No,
yeah,
that's the NL East.
That wasn't
Kyle
who I was going to say,
Finnegan?
though. Yeah, I was going to say Jose Alvarado, but
Kyle Finnegan has 10 saves.
Wow,
who got DFA or no non-tendered?
Wow,
non-tendered.
dude.
Yeah,
free agent.
He
Came
got
back.
non-tendered and then re-signed, and now he's third in saves. Way to
there
go,
you go.
Washington! Another great move. Somehow worked out in your favor. Don't know why.
That's tough.
I've got one left. Y'all want to do one more or call it?
One for the road. Let's do it, buddy. You did the work. Come on.
All right, 5 players are on this board. These are the leaders in WRC plus according to Fangraphs. What's WRC plus? It is weighted runs created plus. It is a saber metric, meaning who are the best hitters, all things considered, according to Fangraphs. Who are the 5 best hitters in the league? Shouldn't be hard, right?
do I get to
Mike
go
gets
first?
to go.
Do you know who the
you
best
get-
hitters
you get a-
are? I don't know.
Congratulations.
Maybe.
There's a freebie.
Yeah, Aaron Judge.
All right.
Aaron Judge.
Hey, what do you know?
Michael Virginia.
Aaron Judge.
Aaron Judge is number 1. His WRC plus is 262, and to put that in perspective, league average is 100. All right.
Next one, I will go with Kyle Tucker.
That is incorrect. It is not Kyle Tucker. Michael Govier, who is top 5 in WRC plus according to Fangraphs.
I'm going to say, I love Fangraphs. Yeah, that is WRC plus is Fangraphs exclusive. But if you don't, if you go elsewhere, I believe OPS plus is the same thing.
Yeah.
Just to give you guys reference though in the show here, I think Corbin Carroll's got to be in the top 5, right?
He is. He's number 4 with 158 WRC plus score. 158. Which, to put that in perspective, Aaron Judge is 262, which
Jesus,
just
that is
goes
insane.
to show how amazing Aaron Judge is.
People win the MVP with like 170, and that's amazing. So think about that, folks.
Yeah, if your Hall of Fame is like my WRC plus was careers 150, you're in. You know. Anyway, so Corbin Keller was 4th. Aaron Judge is 1st. So you've got 2, 3, and 5. 2, 3, and 5, and this is. This year, this isn't last week. This is the entire 2025. Top 5 leaders in WRC plus Fangraphs.
Yeah.
Who are the best hitters this year? Who's been the hottest? Who
I don't
does
know
the most?
Is your boy Brent Rooker in there?
He is not.
Oh,
Sorry,
I
Michael
kissed up to the
Govier.
host.
Mike Virginia, you've had all this time to think, to move the machine in your head. The gears are grinding.
Welcome to the machine. Everybody light up a fatty.
Oh my God.
I can't believe that Kyle Tucker.
All the canine unit, Mike V's driving down the
Great
road
job.
in his tinted BMW S series,
Firing up the
That's
Floyd.
Mercedes.
Yeah, stoned out of his mind.
All right, Mike V, what do you say?
I can't believe Kyle Tucker's not in there. If Corbin Carroll is, Kyle Tucker's been just as good. That's crazy to me. There are two guys that I want to name. I'm going to name the first one being Pete Alonso.
That is number 2. Pete
All right.
Alonso is number 2
Holy cow.
with a score of 210. And the reason why Mike V knows that is because he's on Mike V's team.
Yes, that's 100% correct.
So
wow.
Pete Alonso has been amazing this year. It's ironic that Juan Soto complained about not having Aaron Judge when Pete Alonso, like, you're hitting behind the two best, or you've in the past 2 years, the two best hitters in the league, fella. Stop your whining. Just hit the ball. Just go hit the ball. Stop whining.
Great job.
You're
Anyway,
right.
so Aaron Judge, number 1, Pete Alonso, 2, Corbin Carroll, 4, number 3, and number 5. Mike V.
You were right. You were right in your assumption that he's on my team, but the reason why I thought about him is because that with what you just said about Soto bitching about not having Judge and had Alonso now. So that's part of the reason why I said it. But I'm going to go,
Soto.
yeah. Can I give you one that's going to sound outlandish and nobody jump at me, but he's just been on fire recently. So I'm thinking that he might be in here. And this is a wild card. Is Jorge Polanco in this?
He is not. That's a great guess.
I know,
And
right?
I double checked it. Now, within the last week, yeah.
Okay.
But if you recall, at the first couple weeks of the season, he was a no-burger.
That's true. That's true.
So I'm afraid you get an X for that one. All right, so you've got 2 X's, Mike V. So Michael Govier, can you name both of them? You've got two to go. Well, you have to name one first, I guess. So every journey starts with the first step, as they say. What up, Confucius?
That's
That's why we don't have 100,000 subscribers ever. I just shout out Confucius.
That is the reason we should, actually. I want to say, I'm just going to throw it out there. I know it's not right, though.
Eyes forward. Eyes forward.
Maybe I shouldn't do it. How about Ohtani?
Great guess. No, that is incorrect.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Yeah, he had to go he took off a week to go do diapers and Pampers and all that stuff, and you don't get our WRC bonus points for that, unfortunately. You should, but you don't. Dealing with a screaming baby is a lot harder than dealing with, Grant Holmes for the Braves. Like, who cares? Yeah. Anyway, all right. Mike Virginia, you have to get these 2.
A lot of pressure.
Fernando Tatis Jr.
Because if you get one wrong, you'll lose, my friend.
There you go.
Yeah. Fernando Tatis.
Sorry, that's cutthroat, but that's how this game works. I didn't make the rules.
Did you hear my guess?
I'm sorry, what was it?
Fernando Tatis.
That is correct.
Okay.
Let's build the suspense, my friends. We've come down to it. Winner take all. 0-sum game. Shout out, Gordon Gecko. This is a 0-sum game. You either win or you lose. No in between.
Blah, blah,
Aaron
blah.
Judge, Pete Alonso, Fernando Tatis Jr., Corbin Carroll. Number 5 is on the board. I'm not going to say anything.
Okay.
Number 5 is on the board. Who are the top 5 leaders in WRC Plus according to Fangraphs? Weighted runs, created plus, encapsulates everything about a hitter.
Not a question of enough, pal.
I am going to seal the deal here.
Somebody wins, somebody loses.
Number 5, Mr. Tyler Soderstrom of the Oakland Athletics.
No! So sorry. That is such a great guess. That is a great guess.
I was going to go there, but I didn't think it was. Yeah, I was.
Michael Govier, do you have a guess for the number 5? frankly, I never would have gotten it either. So, but Govia, you got to.
James Wood?
Pete Crow Armstrong.
Wow, really?
Pete Crow Armstrong.
Evilzilla nailed it here. He did this in the chat 5 minutes ago. So, Evilzilla, congratulations.
With his stolen bases, defense, blah, 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 blah. Whatever Fangraphs uses, Pete Crow Armstrong has been the 5th best hitter in base, which is amazing because for a week or two, he pretty much sucked, is what I thought. But,
Yeah, he's been lighting it up. He's actually up right now with men on base.
If you're starting a dynasty league, though, or like we did, like Plazo knew, Pete Crow Armstrong, that would have been a good grab right there.
I have to admit that for sure. Well done, Britton. Round of applause, everybody. Give it up for Britton Allen. Family Feud. He put the work in. We finally got a feud in. We haven't played the feud on a live stream show. We played it last year at First Pitch Arizona live and in person. Shout out Doug Dennis once again. But it's been a minute since we did on the show, so thank you so much. Well done. If anybody has to go, they can leave, but I would just like to say a couple guys that we're excited about in May before we close. But if you have to go, go.
No, I'm good.
I'm going to take off, my friends. I got to run Friday night.
You did a great job, Britton. Everybody say bye to Britton. Bye, buddy.
Adios, amigos. I'll see y'all Sunday. Good to see you again,
Yes.
Mike G. Michael Gogier, always a pleasure. Love you guys.
Bye-bye.
Oh shit.
Oh. Did he do it wrong?
No. I don't want to press anybody.
I'll just kick you out. There we go. There he goes. Bye-bye. See ya. He's gone. So, okay. And then there were two. So, yeah, Mike, just want to talk real quickly about some guys that we're feeling good about in May. Even last week, you weren't here. This year's Hunter Brown, which also it kind of includes somebody who's off to a rough start and who you like rest of season as well. So go ahead.
Yeah, and he's still not off to a great start so far, but a couple of guys that I'm intrigued by. One of them is Dylan Cruz of the Nationals, number 2 draft pick behind Paul Skeens from LSU. He had that crazy week in Coors where he turned it around, which is obviously great, but he's got to improve on his contact a little bit. But I think the power speed combo there, Gove, is really enticing for me and an up and coming team with Washington. He strikes out a lot, but I think as the season progresses, he's going to get more and more comfortable. I think this is just the beginning here for Dylan Cruz, and somebody I will be a slight bias here. I mean, you can see we have him on the screen: 4 home runs, 7 RBI or 7 stolen bases. The 206 average is not great, close to a 30% K rate. I like him a lot, and I'm a little bit biased because I watched him a lot at LSU, but. I think this is a guy that will get more and more comfortable at the plate, and I'm intrigued by we all are, right? I'm a big power speed guy. I like guys that can do both. So, and I think Dylan Cruz has a real legit chance at going 2020 this year at minimum.
Great job.
Yeah. I'm with you now. I thought he would get demoted, but he avoided it. He turned it on at the right moment, and I think they're just going to stick with it now. Maybe they were all along. I'll never know that for sure. So I support that. Not so silent majority. What do you guys think from Matt McLain? What do you guys see from Matt McLain? I see a guy who's off to a slow start, but I'm not worried about it at all.
No, neither am I. And I get this question a lot on Twitter too. Like he was coming back from injury. So, start, stop, start, this is what happens with guys coming back. So it's going to find some time to get in the groove here. Hitting wise too. I mean, I know a lot of you guys watch baseball, love baseball. You play fantasy baseball, which is the reason why you're here. Right. But hitting is just like anything else, right? It takes some time to get back in the groove of things and to find your rhythm. Hitting is all about timing. And that's what Matt McLain's struggling with right now is to find that. So,
but he's hit 4 dongs. I mean, so that's not nothing. That shows you something that the power is there when he makes the proper contact, and he's stolen 5 bags already. Everything else sucks, but to me, that shows me that there's something there. His walk rate's up. His K rate's too high. That'll come down. I guarantee this. I'll lock this in right now. Matt McLain will have a sub 25% K rate by end of season.
Yeah, lock it in twice because I agree with that. He's too good of a hitter.
He's at 32 right now. That's not him. It's just not.
Yeah.
I'm not worried at all.
I'm not worried about it either. I think this is a guy actually to buy low on, Matt McLain.
I completely agree. I'll join you. I want to get on all the McLain I can. Somebody actually tried to trade for McLain today. I had a trade offer in the Palazzo Neo, and I'm like, hell no. I didn't even read what it was. I just deleted it. I rejected it outright on principle because I just love Matt McLain.
He might be the biggest buy low right now of any player in my book.
Ooh, really?
Because here's the thing, right? Like, Great American Ballpark, obviously one of the better ballparks to hit in. His spot in the lineup is going to be secure. Hit in front of guys like Ellie De La Cruz. Cincinnati's a slept-on offense right now. They're a sleeping giant, right? I think Ellie, McLain, Spencer Steer starting to turn around. Gavin Lux has looked phenomenal. There's a lot of good talent in this offense, as well as TJ Friedel. So, and if they can find some pitching, they're going to be a team to look out for in the Central. But I would buy low on McLain 100%. And there's not even a question in my mind of dropping him at all. So,
you know what's interesting, though? And I know we use park factors. For anybody who likes park factors, it gives you an idea of how's the field. Yeah, how's the park playing? Is it giving up a lot of triples? Is it giving up a lot of homers? Does it give up very little offense? And people like to use a 3-year rolling average on that. But if you look at just this year's, the Reds ballpark is at the bottom of the league in offense. It's way down there. It's crazy. Like, not just kind of down. So that makes no sense to me because that's not what that park's really about. Meanwhile, your Orioles Camden Yards is the second most crazy offensive park this season with the wall changes. So
yeah, and in left field too. Yeah, that's a good point. And not to mention too, this is the other thing with that is a little misleading is the Orioles can't pitch worth of shit. So I mean, I'm pretty positive you and I can go out there and pitch well. So
actually, 24. The connection there, Reds Orioles 24-2 does exploit that number a bit. That's a good point, actually. I'm glad you brought that up. So you score 24 runs in a game, it's going to make your park look like the most ridiculous offensive park in baseball, and that did happen on the Orioles watch at Camden Yards. Good point. I'm glad you mentioned that.
Yeah. I talked about Dylan Cruz. Is there anybody that you like that you're excited for in May?
I would like to reinforce, because I kind of got blown off last week on this. Miguel Vargas is heating up. I said it last week that he was like one of my Hunter Browns for this year. Last week. And this last week, he backed me up. Or the last 5 days, anyways. He's hitting third in the lineup now. He's coming up the lineup because he turned it on, hit a dong or so. His average is on the move. This is a guy who has talent. So I know the White Sox suck, but I'm reinforced again, everybody. Miguel Vargas, please.
I love that call. I'd liked him a lot with when he was with the Dodgers. Just wasn't a spot for him. And this is a guy too that also has a good hitter's eye as well. Govier and I both like guys who walk. So Vargas is a guy that can do that. He was still one of the more mentioned podcast prospects within the Dodgers organization. Should have no pressure hitting with Chicago now, letting his hair down, let it breathe a little bit. He has been turning it on. Gov, I'm gonna fire back one at you here because I was looking at Vargas today. I love that call. I have one move left in my home league. Another guy that I'm looking at, and I will admit I was down on going into the season. You and I talked about it. Gleyber Torres of your Bozo Tigers has looked rather well these past couple of weeks.
Go Tigers!
Same thing, right? I think he's out from the New York bubble, the pressure that comes with playing for the Yankees, and he looks comfortable at the plate. He is dealing with a hamstring issue here that popped up on him. He's not in the lineup today, but has looked good. And I think a guy that is going to be floating around on a lot of waiver wires right now. I mean, look over his last couple of games. I mean, he's 69% owned right now, and that's up 3% over the last day. If you guys are watching us on YouTube here, but went 3 for 3 yesterday with a home run. He's got 2 home runs in the last 3 games. If you could scroll down here a little bit, Gov, I want this is what's intriguing to me is like, look at this right here, right? Like that's not bad at all. The power has been there, the RBIs have been there. He's stealing some bags. The hits have been there. So 4 home runs
and high in the lineup, high up there.
Yeah. And look at the upcoming schedule there too. If you go back to that really quick, Gov, sorry. He's got the Angels, and then he gets Colorado. So this is the guy that I'm looking at for sure, especially as we head into next week. Little spoiler alert, he will be on my, depending on how this hamstring injury shakes out, he will be on one of my guys to add if he's out there floating around on people's waiver wires.
It's why Gleyber was on the IL already, but it was an absolute minimal stay. So maybe we saw Austin Hayes hit the IL again for a hammy. Hammies are tricky, blah, blah, blah. Just like air is breathable and water is wet. So just remember those things. Eddie wants to mention a guy named Tim Elko. He mentioned this at the top of the show before we ever did the show, like an hour before. He was in the chat. So excited for the show, which we love. Thank you so much, Edward.
That it is, Edward.
That it is.
That it is indeed.
Tim Elko is tearing it up in the minors. He was the White Sox Player of the Month on the hitting side, I believe, while doing some good things. And he says if you can add him now for nothing, you might thank him later. So, Eddie, you're on the record. Tim Elko's your guy. He also says he mentioned Zach DeCenzo 2 weeks ago. It's a guy who I added a couple leagues in the last 7 days. Zach DeCenzo, interesting player. If he gets the reps, Cam Smith moved to center field. Chaz McCormick is trash. So in Houston, Zach DeCenzo is a guy that also Benjamin Chase, our prospects guru, has talked about for the last year or so as a guy he really likes as well. So if you need more reasons like Zach DeCenzo, that's an interesting name to keep an eye on. First base outfield eligible. Just like Miguel Vargas, third base outfield eligible, which I love. Corner infield and outfield. That just adds to his profile.
Yeah, totally. Real quick, Frank's bringing up Masyn Winn. This is something
your boy.
We talked about a buy low with Masyn McLain. This is the biggest sell high of them all. Lock me in. I realized after his value will never be higher here, folks. After the doubleheader he had with Cincinnati, sell high on Masyn Winn, get him out of there, and get something good for him. I'm a big Masyn Winn hater, and here's the thing: I don't hate Masyn Winn. I just have never seen in my years of playing fantasy baseball, I have never seen a player get more glazed than Masyn Winn. And why people were so high on him, I just don't get it. Britton talked about Tristan Casas. For me, it's Masyn Winn. I don't understand what the love for him is, but his value will never be higher. And if you look at his Statcast page too, something that it's a little alarming. He's still making weak contact. I know he hit a home run the other day, but I would definitely look to sell high on Masyn Winn now. His value will never be higher.
Yeah, I don't have any shares at all. Wasn't interested. I don't know. Hard hit rate can favor your argument and it can work against your argument. I don't know what to make of it other than the fact that hard hit rate does show when guys hit the ball really hard, sooner or later good things happen most of the time. And like Keibert Ruiz was a guy I was looking at last night. I love Keibert Ruiz, but his hard hit rate is shitty. It's like 30%. I'm like, oh dear. Yeah. Well, this doesn't instill confidence for me. So Masyn Winn never instilled confidence for me. I think he's a great real life baseball player, but I just have no interest in fantasy.
Can you guys see my screen here?
I can, yeah.
Yeah. So this is. I mean, I know a lot of this was in the beginning of the season as well. And Frank, I don't know if you are a Masyn Winn truther or not, but still, K rate's at 27.3%. Starting to get better with the barrel percentage, which again was fine last year. But this is not something that I'm looking to keep on my team. So, like I said, I'd be looking to sell if I get a good offer for him in just another area of my team. So,
what about a guy who's been on a roll, Jordan Beck? Where do you stand on Beck?
Yeah, man, I'm so glad you brought him up because I have him in a dynasty league, and when he got sent down, I held on to him. He's one of those guys. I'm looking at him in my home league as well. He's one of those guys that it's really hard to figure out. If you guys are watching us on YouTube, Gove's got his numbers up. He had 3 home runs in a game, Gove, the other day. So
that crazy week. Kansas City doubleheader thing, yeah, just like Masyn Winn.
Yeah, so it's hard for me to put a finger on him. I'm still waiting and seeing it. I'm probably going to lose out on him in my home league because I'm just getting too patient with him. But as you can see, he's got a 33.3% K rate. I think this is one of the guys that will be better at home, obviously, than he would be on the road. But at the same time, too, this is also one of Colorado's better prospects in their system, and
which isn't saying much.
Right. But this is a guy that I've been just so back and forth on. I've literally gotten to the spot of adding him and then I'm going to give it a couple more games and see how he does. And he's looked good so far. I mean, like I said, the K rate's obviously something to be left to be desired, but he's on my watch list for sure.
He's got a 47% hard hit rate according to Fangraphs. That's really, really good. So that's promising. So if you put him in an environment where you can tee off, summertime, Coors, hitting the ball hard.
Coors.
I just don't think you're going to get a consistency. I see a streaky hitter with Jordan Beck, and I need to be proved otherwise to get involved. There's other guys I think I'd like to get involved with. What about Matt Shaw, real quick? Not silent majority want to know. Matt Shaw buzz is brewing because he's playing well down in the minor leagues again for the Cubs. I don't have any Matt Shaw shares. There was one league where I'm looking now. I might add him, but that's a 12-team head-to-head cats with 11 keepers. So I'm looking at a keeper angle there, not just for redraft.
Yeah, this is an interesting one too, because I was a little high on Matt Shaw coming in the league, and I always drank the prospect Kool-Aid, guys, in the beginning of the year. But I'm gonna be honest with you, Gove. This is for me. I don't know if this is the year of Matt Shaw. He seems very quad A to me. I just don't know if his game translates well to the majors right now, unless he's gotten rid of that. And I'll be honest, I haven't watched any of him in the minors. Unless he's gotten rid of that really high leg kick, I think he's going to run into some of those same issues up in the majors. So here's the thing. Chicago has been one of the better teams in baseball this year, and in my mind, a little bit of a surprise for how well they've been playing. And they don't have anybody at third base right now. So it would make sense for Matt Shaw to come back up and they give him the job back. I know a lot of people are saying buzz that he's going to be coming back up, but at the same time too, like, how long has he been down in the minors? For me, if I was a team that was or I was a manager of the Cubs, I would be like, I'd be really, really patient. We saw it with Jackson Holiday last year. Like, I'd be really patient with Matt Shaw, but if he comes back up and kills it, great. I think he's good for baseball. He's one of obviously the better prospects too, but I don't know, man. I'm not intrigued by Matt Shaw. I got to see it first.
Here's the thing, though. At third base, it's Nicky Lopez and John Birdie.
Right.
So
That's what I'm saying.
It's kind of open for him. And they opened the year of that Dodger series taking him with them. That says something to me about their intentions.
Yep.
One underrated thing here, you said, we both like guys who can walk. He can walk in the minors. He's had excellent double-digit walk rates. And even in his brief time here, which was like so short, it's pointless almost to say anything about it. He was walking up here the bigs. So all this to say, I think I am actually more interested now in Matt Shaw, certainly than I was in the preseason. Didn't draft him at all. But now, second look, round 2 on an offense. The Cubs offense is awesome. I mean, they just had a game. They didn't strike out in a game at all. First time since 2013 that happened for them. So I think I'm pro Matt Shaw now. I'm in now, and I never was before.
Yeah. Like I said, I maybe in my deeper leagues, I might be taking a look at him if he's out there. But at the same time, too, I got to see it first, just because he struggled so mightily in the majors already. And like I said, if he still has that high leg kick, he's not catching up to guys like Paul Skeens in that division, or even Hunter Green. So
that's fair. I'll be keeping an eye on that for show. Yeah. Frank says, by the way, he is rostering Winn at middle infield in NFBC. No trade, so he's stuck with him.
I don't mind it, dude. I mean, like I said, I just like I don't. A lot of people just talk about him. That's all.
Got it.
Yeah. Outside of that, dude, I mean, I think we've talked about a lot of hitters. Pitching wise, like obviously, I'm very interested for Bubba Chandler to come up. I do think we see him soon. Go ahead.
What about Lucas Giolito?
Oh man, good. I'm so glad you brought him up too, because he kind of had a mixed bag, right? Like the K's were there. Walker Buehler just hit the IL, so I don't know, man. Here's the thing. I'm kind of, and you mentioned this a lot on this show. I need to let my bias of players go, and not look past and look forward, because obviously Lucas Giolito, when he came up, was one of the better pitching prospects in baseball, and there was a flash in the pan there for a little bit where we started to see that, but for the while, he just hasn't looked great, but he had 7. He looked good in his first outing back.
It was a quality start, Mike. It's a quality start. 6 innings, 7 Ks, only 2 earned runs, I believe.
I think he had 4 walks, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, yeah, the walks. But that's always
it.
Look, in a world where the David Festas of the world can't get through 5 innings, can't get into the 6th inning, Lucas Giolito is a guy that if you played a quality starts league, you're like, I got to get me some Lucas Giolito, because he's a veteran. I know he's been off the mound forever because he was injured, but if he's healthy, ready to rock here, he's got the experience, he's got the pedigree, he was a super prospect, he was a guy on the brink of a Cy Young, and I trust him if he's healthy.
Yeah, I don't hate that either. He's tantalizing for me, but very much like Matt Shaw, I got to see it a couple times before I'm ready to buy in.
Fair. But I needed pitching. I went and picked him up in a 14-team roto league yesterday. I paid a good price, actually, because the pitching was getting thin, and I just thought this is a guy I could trust. So I paid premium to get Giolito last night, and I don't regret it. I don't regret it right now. So.
Interesting. Okay. And this
is this a joke?
I don't know. Yeah, Eddie, I don't. He's not getting the DFA, dude. If anything, they're going to look to trade him because I don't think they're going to. I don't think they're going to re-sign him. But depending on how the O's do, he does this right. He's a streaky guy. He always has been. But he's one of their better power bats when he's on.
Someone tried to trade me Mountcastle. I bailed. I said no, and this was about 10 days ago.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he turned it on here soon. Either May is going to be a good month for Mountcastle, or a changing of the calendar, I should say, is going to be a good month thing for him. But here's the thing too. The Ryan O'Hearn has hurt him a little bit, right? I mean, I know there's some times where they both play, but they do like to put Ryan O'Hearn in there against lefties and put him at first base and let some other guys get in here. I wanted to bring this up. Not So Silent Majority said Shaw said that changing his high leg kick is what hurt him in the bigs. Well, I can tell you this here, Not So Silent Majority. That's why he's down in the minors now. That's because he has that high leg kick. Exhibit A is Jackson Holiday, right? Go back and look at him. I'm not saying that it's not successful. You have to have lightning quick hands to be able to do that. Alex Rodriguez got away with that in the majors. Manny Ramirez got away with that. Those
are legends, though.
Yeah, times have changed, but you get guys who are spinning the ball more and hitting triple digits a lot. So I guarantee you, though, this is going to be something that Matt Shaw will have to correct to be successful in the majors. It just will be. Lock me in on that.
I will, and happy to do so. What about Coby Mayo? I just want to hear you say anything about him because we talked about the O situation with Westburg and et cetera.
Yeah, they did say Michael Elias did say that he's going to be quote unquote up soon, and liked what he has seen from him in the minors. As much as I hate to say it, Ramon Urias is a guy that they love there for his glove, not necessarily.
Just got scratched though today.
Yeah, yep. I love, if you guys have been watching this show, you guys know that I'm a big Coby Mayo guy. Struggled very, very much in his first stint in the majors last year or so. For me, you got to add him if he's called up. I mean, he's still one of the better prospects in baseball. Here's the thing: I would take Coby Mayo over Matt Shaw right now. I would. If both of them got called up tonight, I would be looking to roster.
That's
Coby
a tough one.
Yeah,
I don't know what I would do. I like Mayo too, so that's. Woo, I had to stew on that one for a minute, trying to figure out what my team context is.
Right here, Eddie. Same thing with Tyler Soderstrom. Stopped the leg kick on Beleides of Ice and got much better, obviously. Boom. There you go.
Yeah, just for the record, though, Soderstrom hasn't hit a home run in a little bit because he can't keep – because these paces are unsustainable, folks. It's a fun ride, but I feel like I have to say this, though, Mike, because you guys, I love you guys. You guys are the best. You know that. I love my live chatters. Love our listeners who we never hear from. Our live chatters are always in our face. But – remember that guys get hot and they get cold, and baseball will shut you down, and then baseball will finally show you the light. Like Alec Boehm, I'm waiting for Alec Boehm to heat up, but I'm actually thinking now, I thought, okay, May, new month, fresh calendar, flip it over. Alec Boehm's going to turn it on. But it might actually take another couple of weeks till that happens. It's going to happen eventually. You start asking yourself, though, do I really bench Alec Boehm for Miguel Vargas? And I actually did that for the weekend here. Just for the 3-game series, I actually did that.
I 100% agree with that, my dude. And I've said that literally to the cows come home. I'm screaming that from the mountaintops. When Tyler Soderstrom went, he's not a Debbie Downer. He's realistic here, Eddie. Because again, if you watch the game long enough, if you've played the game long, at all, baseball is one of the most, one of the most humbling sports is baseball. We talk about this on the show all the time, right? Like April could be a very, very big month for guys, and then they absolutely crap the bed in May, and then they heat up again in June, and then the same. It's an up and down game. Like I said, if you fail 7 out of 10 times, you're in the Hall of Fame. That's crazy to think about, but Tyler, a lot of people were buzzing over Tyler Soderstrom, and rightfully so. Had one of the better starts to the year, right? But that pace was unsustainable, and we all knew it. I would hope that a lot of people will think they would know that, but I agree with your take on home. Yeah, I agree with your take on home. I think he'll be a guy that'll turn it around. There's a lot of guys in Philly that aren't quote unquote playing up to their standard right now. You're right, they're not. Eventually they'll turn it on, but it's like day trading. You can't nail the exact time necessarily. Sometimes the generalizations of a guy's got to start playing better does work out, but it's not exactly to the day or the week that you want it to be. It's funny you say that though, Mike, about like the grind and how baseball is cruel to you, and 7 out of 10, it's just how it goes. And I've been playing. I never buy this game. I bought this game for the first time in years. MLB The Show 25. Mm-hmm. So I've been playing it, and they got this Road to the Show thing where you can just be you, and you go for the minors to the show. And
you just like play your at bats, and if you're pitching, I'm a two-way player, so I'm pitching and hitting because I love both. I can't decide if they're gonna let me do both. I'm doing both. I mean, I love both.
Right.
So, but like I'll play like a bunch and over again, and the game is hard to hit. It's like real life hitting. So I get pissed. I'm like, damn it! And then I hit one. I'm like, how did I do that? You know, it gives you kind of a realization. I'm not a major leaguer, obviously, but it is somewhat of a decent simulation of the grind of hitting every day. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, right? Like we look at it so black and white from fantasy baseball perspective. You see box scores and stuff, right? Like
results.
There are people out there like the Aaron Judges of the world, Miguel Cabreras of the world, where they're just in his prime that you just can't do anything about it, right? But for some of these guys, especially guys like Tyler Soderstrom, with the advanced analytics and the iPads and all this stuff that they're looking at, they're going to say, hey, you know what? Let's just keep throwing him away. Like Nick Castellanos was a great example of this. They just kept throwing him sliders away because he can't hit them. And look, that's the thing is pitchers adjust to you and you have to adjust back. It's a game of adjustments all the time. So
yes,
same thing with Alec Boehm. Right now, people know how to pitch to Alec Boehm, but at some point behind the scenes, he's working on that off the tee. He's working off that with the hitting instructors, right? And he's going to get back to being Alec Boehm again. We've already seen it. It's not like a flash in the pan. He's one of the more reliable hitters at third base, at least, with the 90 RBIs and a solid, respectable batting average. So
he doesn't hit for power. He never has. 15 home runs in a season is kind of his thing. So he's a line drive hitter, ground ball hitter, I would say. It's also been a struggle for him mentally, and you never know how much of that takes a toll after a while. It's something you can't quantify. That was the origination of this show. We talked about the mental side of things that you can't put a data set on it. You can't.
Very well said. Look at a prime example of that, Mark Vientos. Right, Mark Vientos struggled very, very mightily during the regular season. He was visibly frustrated, couldn't get out of his own head. Take a step back from that. Take a deep breath. Guys starting to hit again. We were on record of saying this show, you got to hold him. You got to stay patient. Vientos is looking better. So, that is a great point. Is the mental side of things. It doesn't get talked about enough because that's what baseball is. Hitting is mental.
It's the most mental game there is, bar none. Maybe golf is in the mix, but you just golf, so you know. Fantasy Sports is here. What's up, Fantasy Sports? Do you see someone else moving to first base in Boston to bring up Roman Anthony? Yeah, this Casas thing is developing while we're doing the show, so I don't know what's really going on here, but everyone's already trying to pencil in Roman Anthony at first base. I'll tell you this right now real quick. There's a guy that was covered on the Monday show, Prospects Power Hour. We do every Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Robbie, baseball, Benjamin Chase, myself sometimes. There's a guy named Jostixonon Garcia who's crushing it and is a really good prospect who's almost MLB ready. You might get a jump over Anthony. You can't rule those things out. Interesting. Just saying.
And this seems like a very much a Jordan Lawlar, Ketel Marte situation here. Like when Ketel Marte went down, everyone was like, "Oh, bring up Lawlar," even though he's never played second base at a high level. So I know a lot of people want Roman Anthony to come up, and rightfully so. He's one of the better prospects in baseball. I think he has been playing a little bit of first base, but they're also not going to just plug him in there either. So I wouldn't be surprised if they put like a guy like Rob Refsnyder there in there.
Refsnyder.
Yeah, he's never going away. Never going away. Vientos 1 for 1 so far today. Here's the thing too, would that be it seems like a Tawa thing, right? Like Tawa came up, played second, like the guy that you're talking about came up and played first base. That wouldn't surprise anybody, would it?
Nope. Yeah. Boston's got a lot of talent. They've done pretty well. Their farm system's pretty loaded too. Also, Christian Campbell, the other super prospect who has been up all year, he's got a rib issue. He's not on the IL yet, but he's been out for a game or so here. We'll see what develops with that as well. Boston has some decisions to make because not just on the hitting side. We talked about Giolito, a guy, Cutter Crawford. Once he gets back, he's had a knee issue. He's been out all year, but Cutter Crawford's a legitimate pitcher too. And with Buehler hitting the IL, you start to wonder, hey, where does everybody fit in this Boston rotation? But it's starting to make sense now. Giolito's back. Cutter Crawford's not too far away. There's an opportunity there. So just keep an eye on these things and who's got a spot, how many roster spaces are available, right? And look at options. Like we said with Jake Berger, he got dumped because of options. It's something you should look at. I know it's getting like maybe too deep into the minutia for fantasy baseball players, but knowing who has remaining options can tell you who might be going down or staying on a roster or outright demoted or just outrighted, free of the organization entirely.
Yeah, well said. we might be looking at like maybe a Marcelo Mayer at second.
Yeah.
If
Finally
going on the aisle, maybe. So it might be something to keep an eye on.
David Hamilton could play more.
100%. I totally forgot about him. They love him in Boston.
He's
too.
still there. He's still there.
remember that stretch? I remember you talked about it, and the reason why I picked him up. And for those of you guys watching, like I learned from Gove and Britton too about some of these guys because
we all learn from each other.
Yeah. And when Gove started talking about David Hamilton, I started looking at him. I'm like, hey, you know what? I need some stolen bases. And there was that stretch, Gove, where he was just like stealing like 4 or 3 stolen bases.
Guess who has 2 stolen bases tonight?
David Hamilton. Okay. Is that right?
Guess who stole a base last night? So Christian Campbell's going on the lineup. Hamilton's coming right in, and you just get him on the base pass at all. Get him at first stall. He's going to steal. He has 2 steals tonight in this game. It's this guy. I drafted him heavily, and I looked kind of bad because he's been totally just the final bench bat at best on this team for Boston so far. But they never demoted him. They like him still, and I maintain this. It just sometimes the patience is one of the hardest things to do is be patient in this game, fantasy baseball, man. And I've already had problems with it where, like, I talked about Dane Myers and the frustration there. And there's guys that closer roles, this guy, I know he's going to be the closer. Porter Hodge, I thought it would finally work out. It looked like it worked out for 1 week last week, but Ryan Presley's still there, and he's not on the IL. And the patience, they can really push you, and 1 week could be too late, 1 week could be too early, man. And that is just something that will always it'll drive me bonkers about this game, but I still love it.
Yeah, exactly, dude. I'm with you. And this is the thing too. Like, why I love fantasy baseball so much is because it's an everyday thing. It's basically like fantasy football on steroids because I love looking at stuff like that with the ebbs and flows. I'm not saying fantasy football is boring. I love fantasy football in its own right, but I think what makes fantasy baseball so fun is the roller coaster ride of emotions that you go on with some of these players that you have, people that you believe in, people that are called up, people that are DFA'd. And you get it 162 games a season. So I love it. And I think that's what makes baseball great is those things that you mentioned. So
I completely agree.
Yeah.
Let's get these real quick and then we'll wrap. Harry's here. What's up, Harry? Good to see you, man. Glad you made it in for the show. How do you rank these starting pitchers? Rasmussen, Bubic, Male, Logan Evans. Did he do better after his first start? Because I don't care about him. And Liberator. Mike, I mentioned this to Britton last week. We haven't had a chance to talk a lot about Matthew Liberator, but he's had a great season to start the year so far. And there's a guy that I was targeting in a few drafts. Not every draft, but I was looking in deeper draft and holds and leagues where I'm like, nobody cares about this guy at all, 20-team leagues even. And he's been really good. And there was a prospect pedigree again once upon a time with Liberator.
You're right.
It's starting to come together. It's not just a fluke. I don't think it is a fluke. I don't think this is a sell high situation. I don't. So I believe. So if you ask me to rank these guys, I love Bubic. I love Liberator. I know you love Molly. I always think the clock is ticking on Molly to get injured, but he's been good. He's been really good. So Rasmussen's a guy I don't have any shares of, though.
Okay. Yeah, Liberator didn't look so hot yesterday. Only made
a bad start?
Yeah, didn't make it out of the third inning, or I made it through 3 innings. I'm sorry, didn't get the fourth. But of this group, I'd probably I don't know if it's going to come as a surprise to you here. I'd probably go one of the first 2 as my number 1 or 2. They're Rasmussen and Bubic. I think it's going to be between those 2 guys as my top. Molly, for me, I'm still waiting for I'm waiting for that time where I open up my phone and I see Tyler Molly turn into a pumpkin, and the clock strikes midnight and we get the old Tyler Molly back. The K's are gone. I don't think we see that version of Molly, but he's utilizing other pitches and not relying on the stuff that made him a K pitcher prior when his days in Cincinnati. So Harry Brooks, sorry, this is a long-winded answer for me, but I'm going to go Bubic, Rasmussen, Molly, Liberator, Evans.
Yeah, I'll go Bubic, Rasmussen, Liberator, Molly, Evans, just to keep it crazy. Just get wild, right, honey?
Yeah, that's right. Friday night, man.
See, honey knows, yeah. Fuzzy nuts. Even though I'm the one with the nuts. She doesn't have nuts, I assure you. Not if there's anything wrong with that, too. If you like nuts, that's your thing. Do you think Boston regrets signing Trevor Story to a huge contract? I was actually giving you credit while you were away that Trevor Story had looked pretty damn good, and I thought you were a fool for that, but he's been looking pretty decent. Are we regretting it now? Has he gone cold? Is the party over now?
I don't know. I haven't seen much on it. I do have him in one league that I've played him on. This week has been crazy for me, so I haven't. I'll be honest, I've not been paying attention to.
It's just because he hasn't hit a home run since April 18th. That's all. But he's been getting on base and scoring some runs and still hitting cleanups. So
I say he's hitting 260 on the year with 5 home runs, 16 RBIs, and 6 stolen bases and 15 runs scored. So yeah, I think Trevor Story right now has been one of the better surprises this year for a guy that you were drafting after pick 200. They're not trading him, but at the same time too, with Trevor Story, we talked about this enough on this show, even when I first joined Palazzo, was the park factor, obviously coming from Colorado to Boston, and how Boston's not Colorado. We get that. We understand it, but the talent is still there for me for Story, maybe just a watered down version of that. Right. So, which is why I've always been a believer on him, is that he's got pop. He plays shortstop. He's and if you can have that at shortstop this year, and shortstop was rather deep for me after I looked into it a little bit more. But the home runs, the speed, I think there was not the Trevor Story of old. He was like the Tyler Mahle of hitters, right? I think we get just a Diet Coke version of himself of his prime years. So
Diet Coke version. I like that, man. Eddie says, doing this 32 years, you don't panic in April.
Damn
Not so
right.
silent majority says, I have a rule that I don't make trades in April unless it's someone that I really want to hold. There you go. Also, I play fantasy baseball and football here for 20 plus years. Baseball takes more skill. It's not even close. Harry says, fantasy baseball, longer season, more involvement. Yep. Jordan says, fantasy football is checkers. Fantasy baseball is chess. There you go. Lock that up. And Eddie also says, Marcelo Mayor much cheaper and Story is blocking him. But Boston's not about cheap right now. They want to compete. They think they're good. So Story's not going anywhere unless he's not at all.
Yeah, I'm confused with the Story thing. Like he's been pretty damn good and he's been healthy. I think that's what Boston would take that.
Yeah, Eddie lives in the New York area. I'm not saying that's Eddie. I love you, Eddie. Edward.
Yeah,
that it is indeed, Eddie.
That it is, Edward. That it is indeed.
The more I'm thinking about this now, I really think May could be a good month for David Hamilton. We'll see. Obviously, the Christian Campbell injury looms large. Christian Casas as well. But if they could fit Hamilton in anywhere, and he can play more, and he can spur their offense. Last year was the year as well. It was May where Hamilton took off. Sometimes there are players that their months are their months. Just saying, these are things to consider. I'm not saying they're absolutes at all, folks. Just something to think about. But do I want David Hamilton to succeed? I very much do. I admit that.
Yeah. I'm going to be looking very closely at Miguel Vargas and Gleyber Torres. I'm going to be looking at both those guys. So,
okay, I like that. Anybody else you just want to mention before we get out of here?
No.
I live in Canada, by the way, for people who don't know. They don't know. If you're new to the show, Not So Silent, yeah, I live in Detroit/Canada, if you will. That's good enough.
Yeah. No, I think this has been a fun start to the season so far. I do want to mention something really quick. I've been in and out with the show recently. I've had a lot of things come up between work, personal, and then also some vacations and stuff that have come up as well.
Sure.
So,
busy.
Definitely will be rocking and rolling here now. I don't have any vacations coming up or anything else like that. One thing I wanted to mention, we talk about a lot on the mental health side of things. And for those of you guys who don't know, Gove also does a pod. First Day, is that what it's called, Gove?
Sometimes. First Day podcast. Yeah, it does exist. Thanks for the shout out. Appreciate that.
But one of the things that I realized, and which is why I brought this up in the beginning of the show with the community here with Palazzo, is this is a good way for me to step away from the stressors of life and talk about something that I'm passionate about. I love talking about. I could talk baseball all day long. It's a good way for me to jump out of my own skin and to be in a different realm or just world and talk baseball. So it's nice. I appreciate everyone and the kind words, and obviously being here on the show. Eddie, a Not So Silent Majority, Chad, all you guys that are in, and Ted. I love being in and doing this. This is what makes it's a good breakaway for me, is basically what I'm trying to say. So thank you guys. Oh, Eddie, yeah. Would like to hear about my day at the ballpark with my son on Sunday. That was a couple weeks back. Yeah. He had a blast. We only made it through the 5th inning. After the 1st inning, he asked me, is it time to go home yet? So, but yeah, he had a good time. It was his first day at the Orioles Camden Yards. So it was fun. We got to do all the Camden Yards things, but thank you, Eddie. I appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, it's a tasty burger. Frank says, Ryan McMahon, very rocky. Yep. I'm telling you this right now. Ryan McMahon's going to go on a heater, hit a bunch of home runs this month. I have no shares, but it's going to happen. So if you want power, it's going to happen. This is what he does. He starts slow a lot, and he picks it up. And then they'll maybe finally trade him for, like, I've been waiting for that trade for like 5 years. They probably won't, though. It's the Rockies.
Yeah.
Also, Evilzilla says 51st state. Go give me that shit. We're not the 50. It's not happening. Sorry, not happening, brother.
Quick,
China.
breaking news. Guess who just hit a home run?
David Hamilton?
Dane Myers.
Yay! Woohoo! By night, David Hamilton, Dane Myers. All right. Man, feeling good. Joe says, thanks, boys. Good to see you, Joe. Were you here the whole time? If not, I'm so glad you popped in. Fantasy Baseball YouTube is a good community. It really is. We love doing the show. Everything Mike said, I obviously echo all the sentiments. And I'm so glad you're back. I could tell you were fired up to talk fantasy. It's been a minute, so you covered a lot of ground here. You got a full load from both of us in Britain. And thanks to him for doing all the work with the Family Feud. 2 hours. Yeah, it's a great way to spend a Friday evening. And that'll do it. Oh, snap, Dane Myers is right. Eddie, hear me now. Believe me later. All right, so follow Mike on Twitter at _Mike VAM and MJ. Go via Palazzo Podcast, 2 L's, 2 Z's. Britain's at Britton Allen, 2 T's, 2 L's. Everybody in the Palazzo Galaxy.
Give me 2.
Benjamin Chase and Robbie Baseball. And even Sam Worshing's out there doing his thing. I think that'll do it, Mike. Welcome back. Good to have you.
See you guys Sunday at 1 p.m. for the Waiver Wire show. Make sure you guys check that out. One of our more popular shows. We love doing it. Love answering all your questions and get you ready for the weekend.
It'll be weird to welcome you back. I've been doing that show all year this year. I'm in. I love doing that show now. Yeah, I'm excited. I dig it. All right, turn it over to Captain Jack. Peace.
Right, lads. Now, I know there's not a faint heart among you. And I know you're as anxious as I am to get into close action. But we must bring him right up beside us before we spring this trap. That will test our nerve. And discipline will count just as much as courage. The Acheron is a tough nut to crack. More than twice our guns, more than twice our numbers. And they will sell their lives dearly. They mean to take us as a prize. And we are worth more to them undamaged. Their greed will be their downfall. England is under threat of invasion. And though we be on the far side of the world, this ship is our home. This ship is England. So it's every hand to his rope or gun, quick's the word and sharp's the action. After all, surprise is on our side.